Welcome to the SLTP, aka the Secret Lorcana Testing Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Edge, and with me, as always, is Josh Shadox. I'm gonna get that right one day. One day. And we have a couple people that have been here before. One person who hasn't been here before. So Fumbles, you've been here before. Dave's been here before. Ed's obviously been here before, and Bumi,
That's me.
one of the top 32 contenders at
Bumi.
Continentals,
Yeah.
curator of Bumi Steel. How are you, Bumi?
I'm good. Everybody knows what Bumi Steel is, surely, right?
Everybody knows what Bumi Steel is.
Bumi Steel.
It's playing dudes, turning them sideways, and drawing 7. It's pretty
On a
good.
regular basis.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So we have a few things we want to talk about today. We're recording this on February 19th, and as of today, the entire spoiler list is now out. We had a bombshell of a card drop yesterday, and now the Enchanteds are starting to come out, as well as the Store Championship promos has been announced. I believe that's confirmed it's a Store Championship promo.
Yeah.
But also, just real quick, we're not going to delve into the specifics exactly, but there is one piece of the information that we just received that happened today that we'd like to touch on. So if those of you who don't know, again, we're recording this on February 19th. Reclem posted a statement on Twitter about what happened with his suspension. Again, you can get into the details of what happened with his suspension. You can look at what he put as a statement. We're not going to get into that specifically. There's one little piece of information that he stated that we think is relevant for the community as a whole, and that is that he's suspended until August 6th. Which means, theoretically, Worlds is before August 6th.
Woo!
That's a stretch, bro.
So that's...
I don't know about that.
I think it's a date, and there's information, that contains a date from Ravensburger. Reclem is not eligible to play in Worlds, though, so even if Worlds were after August 6th, he still wouldn't be eligible to play in it.
Well, if there were side events at Worlds, I would think that maybe he's suspended for those.
Could be.
Yeah.
Is kind of where I was leaning towards.
Maybe
Okay.
the better, I guess, phrasing to use is like there would be some sort of organized play big tournament before August.
Before
6th,
that.
Not specifically
He
Worlds.
He used the term organized play, right?
Yeah.
So,
The official
Set champs, he's banned from set champs, man.
circuit.
Oh,
I think the language
Fuck.
was the official
Yeah.
circuit. He's suspended.
So he wouldn't be able to go to Japan either, I'm assuming.
given that they're in May, probably
yeah,
not.
technically,
Yeah.
no. Right?
I would assume anything that Ravensburger is affiliated with in terms of organized play, that would include that.
So, other than that, like we said, he made a statement. If you'd like to go make your judgments about the statement, feel free. We're making our own in private. No need to bring it up on the podcast. So, the real reason that most people are here, I'm assuming, is set 7. And most of the cards were spoiled last week when we did some amount of review, but not all of them. And all but 5 were revealed up until yesterday. And most people had just assumed that all the power cards were spoiled because most of the rares were out, all of the legendaries, super rares. But there was this innocuous little comment that came out that is probably going to define the meta for a little bit. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So, Josh, how are we going to talk about today?
Well, I guess to start, now that the set's out, what does everyone think of it? Overall, how are you feeling? Let's start with Bumi. Our guest. He seems like he has a lot to say.
I have thoughts. I was really, really, really excited for set 7 constructed when they showed the Shift Bolt card. That card I think is the perfect card for the deck that I like to play. And then they spoiled the Shift cards and they're unplayable, and then I just lost all hope to have fun in set 7. I think set 7 has some really good stuff. The mystery common card I think might draw me away from playing Amber. But other than that, I think blue cards are pretty good. Again, I think yellow cards are pretty bad again. Green cards I think are pretty unexciting this set as well, but
They're pretty mid.
they're pretty mid. I think
Interesting.
there are a lot of really exciting build-arounds that you can like think about, how good this card is and like how it will play against certain decks and how awesome it's going to be. And then, you remember that blue-red exists and you go, oh yeah, this card is really great in a meta without blue-red, and the deck that this card goes in is never going to beat a blue-red deck.
Yeah, the usual cycle, right? And I guess specifically, it's Sisu, or I guess Medusa to an extent, right?
Yeah, just all of
I
the
think-
strength-based
Yeah.
removal.
I mean,
It's
you
a-
could have
it's a-
Medusa hit everything in the game now.
It's efficient
So-
strength-based removal that now has a way to make strength-based removal turn into consistent dragon fires.
Mhm.
I saw you kill a Tamatoa with a baby Sisu today. A big Tamatoa with a baby Sisu, and you didn't go out of your way to do anything. You inked, quilled, played baby Sisu, kill your Tamatoa. And
pretty-
oh, by the way, continued with the rest of your turn because my Dragonfire costed 3.
It's pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
3 and 2 cards out of hand, right? Like that's not nothing.
I mean, it's not nothing, but with how much card
Yeah.
velocity blue has with Hiram, it's just
Yeah.
Anyway,
But it also wasn't like discard 3 cards, banish a Tamatoa. It was like progress your game plan, play to the board,
For sure.
banish your 8-cost
Yeah,
character.
essentially play normally, and
Yeah.
yeah.
it just dies along the way. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess Ed, you feel the same way. You were saying the set's mid.
I mean, in my colors, we literally got nothing. So, but I mean, the Sapphire cards look really good, though. Obviously,
Mm.
like I think they literally saved Bell for last, right? They're like, on the last day,
Yeah.
let's reveal Bell, and I think that card is actually kind of needed. I mean, I know like the Ravensburger guys are like kind of memeing like, oh yeah, we predicted the format, and like in a way, I feel like maybe they did, right? Like they saw that the aggro decks up to this point were getting a little bit out of control, and now they kind of gave us like an anti-aggro tool in Sapphire to kind of deal with those cards.
Yeah, I guess for those of you that don't know, the Bell card that I was alluding to is a common. It's in the new starter deck. It's a 3-cost inkable 3/3 quests for 1, and the 3 cost is really only relevant for how much it can sing, because what it says is you may choose to banish an item in play to play the card for free. So as an example, turn 1 Popsicle, sacrifice Popsicle, play Bell, pass.
You have a
Pretty good.
3/3 Singer 3 on turn 1.
Yeah, because
Really good
Cinderella
in
was
blue steel.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
Pretty average everywhere else.
I'm gonna be the first person to say it on here, but I think the card is aggressively mid in every deck that's not blue steel.
agreed.
Yeah.
Until we
I mean,
get
Forest
other
Sphere makes it insane.
Forest
We just
Sphere,
need like a Forest Sphere for red.
literally. I was just about to
Can you
say.
imagine if they released that?
Well, you have the
Crazy.
you have the
That'd
red
be-
tool, the Maurice's tool, right? Which you could like do some cool things with.
But
But
yeah,
like,
Sure.
so
Mhm.
the first thing I thought of when I saw the bell was like, okay, this card is great. Then you think, okay, in practicality, when you break your popsicle or something turn 1, then you lose 2 cards. You're behind. You can't hire him now. Like it's kind of puts you in a lot of weird spots. And most of the time, I'd rather just have the ink in my hand. So that was what the issue I ran into right away. But with like multiple items, like you said, Ed, and if you want to run multiple 1-cost items in another deck, like so let's say red blue, you're just throwing more junk into the pile. So I don't know. That was the thing I thought of.
They basically have to cycle, right? Like the reason. So one of the problems we have now with Bell is until we have rotation, it is basically impossible for them to print any more 1-cost items that cycle. Because if they do, Bell gets better and better each time you do that, and in other color pairs, gets better and better in more decks if you spread the love, so to speak. But right now, because the only colors that have cycle rocks are Fortisphere and Popsicle in steel and blue, Bell is going to be a blue steel card, and very, very rarely is she ever going to be in red-blue. And that's pretty much the only other color she's ever going to be in. But, heaven forbid, if there's a good one ink item that cycles in purple. That card is going to sing so many friends on the other side. I will never play anything else.
I will say there's
Purple.
definitely a possibility of her sitting in green blue. I just
Oh,
don't
true.
see it right now.
Oh, Hidden Inkcaster. That's my
Yeah.
other
There you
card.
go.
Hidden Inkcaster green blue.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think they could print Popsicle, except it's just amber, and the card would be unplayable.
Yeah, it's just heal one, right?
Heal one, yeah.
Bumi's
Yeah.
just gonna doomer this entire cat.
No,
That's
heal
what
one,
I
but
know
you don't
that-
banish
That
it. It's
that's
that.
why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to bring
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
down.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Ed and Bumi while you're both here.
Hmm.
Which cards are better, the amber cards in set 7 or the red cards in set 7?
Do the
I
dual
haven't
colors
asked.
count?
They're all bad, to be honest.
No, you can't. No dual colors. Just you have to play mono red or mono amber.
I think there are a couple amber cards that are interesting. At least I can't remember a single mono red card that I thought was pretty interesting. Like the red coil is actually kind of cool.
Red coil is the first thing that came to my mind as
I-
one of the best of those.
I don't even know what that does, man.
I had
Uh,
to I had to stretch to find
Should I
good red
pull 'em up?
cards.
Ed,
even
every
the
time
good-
you ink, you give 2 attack to a character.
Here,
Card's horrible.
I'll pull up
you
some
haven't
cards
played enough
so it's
horse, dude.
easier.
I think there is a
Bro, I played plenty of horse, man, and that's not it.
I don't even know if I can answer your
Yeah.
question, Dave.
I think there is a
They're
three-
both bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I
I don't
do-
remember. I don't even know any of the cards. They're that bad.
I for a later segment, I tried to do what's the best card in each color, and it was a stretch for 3 of the colors. Mono purple, mono amber, and mono red are
Yeah.
I can
very.
mono purple is pretty rough this set, but at least like I can think of a couple mono purple cards that I would play.
I think it's
Yeah.
a 3/3. The Raja is the best purple card.
That's the best card. Oh no, man.
I think there's
Yeah.
there's like 3 playable purple cards.
I think Honey Marin is probably the best purple card.
Honey,
I
I
will-
like Honey Marin.
Yeah. I will say for Amber, I think there is a 2-card tie for first because you'd play them together. And I don't actually think these cards are very good, but I think they're interesting, and I think they do something very unique, which is the two shoes and 1 Cinderella that you would play.
Mhm. I like Glass Slipper. It's cool.
Cheap set for the
It's-
competitive amber players.
It is gonna be you can roll into your local game store with a crisp $1 bill, say give me two give me 2 shoes and a Cinderella, and then you can turn around and leave.
Oh no.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm laughing. Can we just call it this on the podcast, please? Because it's so good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I am laughing so hard because the nickname for this Cinderella in our Discord that likes these shoes is Foot Fetish Cinderella, and I don't know why, but I'm
Yo.
never gonna be able to look at that card ever again. It's so funny.
I don't actually know what Cinderella does.
I don't
Oh,
either.
okay.
I just
Okay,
know
yeah.
she's Foot Fetish Cinderella.
I'll start pulling up cards for us.
She
But,
tucks the shoe right from the bin.
She
Oh,
takes,
yeah,
she
yeah,
takes
she
the
puts it
shoe
on
and
the
she
bottom.
puts it on the bottom of your deck.
She puts
And-
the shoe on her
and she-
skin, or else she gets the hose again.
She gains.
Oh, it's in French.
Oh no!
Oh no.
What is this?
Okay, hold
I know
on.
somebody
We're
who can
Sailor, bro.
translate.
Hello, Sailor.
Okay, so she is a
So yeah.
a 4-cost 2/4 quest for 2. When you play her, you can put an item named the Glass Slipper from your discard on the bottom of your deck to gain 3 lore. So two slippers in this Cinderella is a very small deck building commitment for for some lore burst in Amber, which we don't really have. I think the shoe is I don't think the shoe is very good. You have to exert a dry prince that you have to go searching for this Cinderella for this to work. So you have to play a prince in your deck, and he has to stick, and then he has to be able to go on the slipper quest to find Cinderella, and then you can play Cinderella to gain 3 lore. And I think that's worth testing. I don't know if it's very good. I don't I don't think it's very good. It probably will pan out that you just shouldn't buy mono amber cards this set. But I'm gonna buy 2 copies of Glass Slipper and 1 copy of Cinderella and see what we can do with
And
it.
start trying on some shoes.
Yep.
And start trying out. So in terms of princes, like actual playable princes in Amber, you have Prince Naveen,
Yep.
Simba.
think
Prince
there's a few
Prince
other-
Eric Bodyguard is not irrelevant.
Isn't he? But that's Steel, right?
No,
Oh, if
he's
you're playing
just
Amber Steel, I guess.
yeah. He's yellow. He's amber.
Oh, the yellow
He's
one?
a Hercules in
Yeah,
yellow, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the 3/3 for
Mm-hmm.
yeah, right. Yeah, that one's okay. That one's not bad. So then, if you look in other colors, so you have in green, you have a bunch of Prince Phillips. Apparently Beast is a prince.
Beast
He
is
is.
a prince.
Um,
The
red.
05 bodyguard, the 05 bodyguard in amber, I'm pretty sure is a prince.
The new one, right? He's a prince, yeah.
Yeah, I think the new one.
most of the good princes are in Steel, because you have Simba, the fighting prince, so the 7 cost. The 5/7 that loots or deals 2. You have Tragic Hero. You have the Prince Never Gives Up. That's the one who's a bodyguard with resist and quest for 2. You have Beast Hard-Headed, which is the one where it kills an item. Hercules Bodyguard, and then Simba Future King, which is the looter. So like Steel has some decent bodyguards if you were to play that card.
Like, you have to think about what's like the best case scenario for that card, right? And it's like, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, maybe you can get like a Rapunzel. That's kind of nice, right? You can play like Simba, the one called Simba, and you play the shoe, and then you play Lawrence, and then you challenge a Lawrence and find a Rapunzel. Oh, okay, that's like potentially viable.
Yeah.
I
But, like,
mean,
yeah.
this has to be one of the more playable cards of this set, right? For Amber.
Which is sad.
I
Because
thi-
that's
I think
the
the
that's
05
the bar.
body is not bad.
I think
Like,
the
if somebody's
05
wasting a
body is-
Sisu on this, then that's kind of funny enough.
When I was making my buying guide, this was the one amber card I thought about putting on it, but I thought it was even funnier to just not include amber in the buyer's guide, so that decision chucked this one into unplayable. But I think this is actually fine.
Yeah. It having a 5 butt is relevant. Like
Yeah.
4 is hard to deal with. But
I think it's
you have
more
the
relevant
Fox.
as an attacker. Like, it just says, like, exert, draw 3 cards with Rapunzel, right?
That's what it says.
I don't know. Good players don't like to give you Rapunzel value. It's really hard. It's really hard
So-
to draw cards with
Mhm.
Rapunzel against like someone like Ed.
If we're talking about Amber
And
specifically,
that's not true, actually.
I think there's
I always
one
eat the draw
there's-
3.
there's
Anyways,
one
go ahead.
card that's playable, I think. I just don't think she's going to be like really, really good, and that's the new Minnie Mouse, the legendary.
Ah, dude. Yeah, that's a
So-
rabbit hole.
It's the 1/2 that quests for 0 technically, but whenever you play a character with her in play, she gets a lore for how much she can quest for, and then whenever she quests, chosen opposing character loses strength equal to her lore, but until the start of your next turn. So if you go turn 1 whatever, turn 2 mini, turn 3 111, they can't do any trades.
You have
Except
a,
for-
Triple ones.
All you have to do.
all you
Well,
have to do-
hey,
yeah.
I'm trying to make
Easy
it playable.
peasy.
I'm trying to make it playable. Even a 2-drop and a
Yo.
1-drop, even a 1-drop is like it
Well-
matures with the trades a little bit.
Dylan,
Yeah.
this is like the thing. I think we should test this. Like, if you want to see it, like, I just test with, like, you test with, like, the perfect set of cards, and I'll test with, like, a mid-red blue hand, and we'll see what happens, I guess.
But that's the problem,
Yeah.
right? Is that in this current meta that we're going to go into, where people are playing Bells on turn 1 and they have Sisus, this might be playable one day, but it is not playable this set.
This is
This-
a Pluto
I
deck
mean,
card.
set 6, if it was set 6,
say
this
that.
actually might be like playable, right? You do like the
100%.
1-2 into another one of these, a 1, and then like, you know what I mean? You start
Yeah.
chaining these together and you start
So,
going crazy.
I will say that with the purple ones, it's possible to chain more cards than usual,
right.
right? Because they
100%.
cycle into more cards.
Yeah.
But
So sorry, go ahead, Dave.
how often is this ever better than just a 2/2 inkable for 2 that quests for 2?
Even Quest for 3.
Yeah.
Like it's I just don't. That's the
No,
problem.
I mean
right?
Piglet, right? Piglet Quest for 3, but like
Piglet,
even
yeah.
just the vanilla 2/2/2s for 2.
I think
We
the minus
well,
attack is more
yellow
relevant.
doesn't have one of those, Dave.
Yeah.
Sorry, what is Amber has Wendy Darling. How often is this better than Wendy?
So
That's the one.
No,
thing,
Wendy's
right?
better. Yeah, agreed.
yeah, I agree.
Because this likes to storm too. You get stormed, you're like, bro.
Yeah. So
Also, like against purple cards, they just pick up the thing that got minus attacked and put a fox into play and whack this anyway.
right.
You get crab. That's even worse.
The fact that we're talking about this card just shows how bad Amber is this set. Not including some of the dual link, which I think are actually reasonable. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Amber hybrids that I think are playable. But
Yeah.
this is the only. This and Foot Fetish Cindy are the only ones that I could even remotely come up with that are like
Yeah.
even in the realm of playable.
So this Minnie Mouse is like, if you think about this as like your curve filler 2-drop, like just play Piglet or just play Wendy Darling, like this card sucks if your plan is to go like one mini, as many characters as you can every turn. Like this card's just awful. But like what this card is, like this is a combo piece. This is not a curve filler. So if you can set up like a Pride Lands Rockstar combo, you can kill somebody in one turn with this card. But like if you're playing this on 2 to be your curve filler, like you have so many better options.
Ooh.
It can kill on turn 4.
With Rockstar Pride Lands.
With Rockstar Pride Lands.
Yeah.
That
So
sounds
you-
like fun.
You turn 1 Simba, turn 2 Pride Lands, turn 3 move Simba to the Pride Lands, play Mini.
Yep.
Turn 4 shift in and play all ones,
Mhm.
and Mini can.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I want to kill one of you guys with that. That sounds fun.
Good luck.
I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, but damn, that sounds fun.
Yeah. This is like a high upside card if they ever decide they want combo in the game. But
hmm
if your
So-
plan is to play this on 2 and play as many characters as you can every turn, you're probably going to lose 90% of those games.
Does anyone else want to bring up any other Amber cards?
Yeah, I was gonna ask any other favorites from anyone. I think this one's actually kind of interesting. It's so much to give.
Oh, yeah.
2-cost song. Draw a card, and then you give a character bodyguard till your next turn. I think you could do like, I don't know where this would fit. It was just something that seemed interesting to me. You could do like a few tricky things. Like it's nice that it cycles itself too, right?
I
Yeah,
feel like
song-
it's a green yellow card, right? Like I
I
think
was
that's
gonna say with Ursula or something. Ooh, double draw.
Yeah.
well.
Double
Also,
bodyguard.
Sirtis can
Double
bodyguard your
bodyguard.
Diablo. Like I see like little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do like random little tricks like that.
Yay.
Yeah. This
Like
Yeah,
it could
There's
even
an
get around opposing bodyguards too.
I was literally just gonna say that. There's a scenario where they try to play Pluto to hide their whatever behind it, and then you give that character that they're trying to hide bodyguard, and then you can attack into it.
Yeah. This is a card I would have liked to see like have a little more utility, where if it could only choose your own character, but you could exert them, like I think that would be an excellent card.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But
This
that's
could
not.
cost 1, right?
Play something
What's
huge
that?
I was gonna say
that
cost
doesn't
one,
have
which is nice.
bodyguard,
Yeah.
and then yeah. I mean, it's a song, so it can be free.
I mean, adjacent to this card, how come green doesn't have a card that's like give something reckless, sings a song, draw a card?
There's actions for that, right?
Is that
I
not
guess that's-
Heffalumps and Woozles?
Uh,
I mean,
no,
it's not
that's, they
reckless.
can't
Heffalumps
quest.
just can't
I
quest.
mean, well,
I mean they put that on they put that ability on characters.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, they have,
adding
like,
a character
Beast
to the
is
board is
mine.
like drawing a card, right?
And Jack. No, but I want to do the thing with like shift bell, and then you sing bell with it, and you force them to attack it. That's what I need, bro.
S-
Turn 2 shift bell, man.
What is she?
Yeah,
She's
so-
3
yeah.
shift, right?
yeah.
2 shift?
Yeah, she's
Actually,
a
yeah,
3.
you can't. Yeah, you can't.
She's a
Well,
3.
turn 3. Yeah, yeah. If you can turn 3 shift and then sing it, then
Yeah, I was gonna say you go 2-drop, and then if it was a 2-drop song, then you could have done it. But
Well, what you
Yeah.
could do, like Ed, an example of that, like you could just like play her for free and then shift to the same turn, but not saying that's going to gain you too much. You know, like
Yeah,
So
I want to
with-
shift in
With like the
full strength.
reckless thing though, so you have like the Beast is Mine, right? That's like an action. I think it's 3
So-
cost or 2 cost, and then you have like John Silver. Like you have a few things that
Well,
are like
Yeah.
Bellwether is probably the best choice in like a green blue scenario.
Yeah, Night Howler's Rage is
Oh, that's
just
a song.
strictly better. No, it's just
Oh,
an
that was
action,
an
but
action.
it's
It's
just
yeah.
strictly better. Beast is Mine.
Yeah.
Still not very good. Still not a song.
Anything else for Amber, or is Amber just kind of dead? I mean,
It's
done.
dead.
Sorry.
I mean, if we're talking about Amber, I mean, I think like the actual like I do want to see like the Amber puppy deck like actually be a thing. Like they have a ton of tools. I don't think it's like not
Until
a
Sisu
thing.
gets banned, there's no shot.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
but like
become
nobody's gonna be
king.
playing that card. so it's
Sisu
fine.
needs to be. Yeah,
They just
I don't know.
need to switch all of the strength-based removal to cost-based removal, and the whole format is fine.
if they're not planning to do rotation until set 9, I don't see Sisu living through set 7 and set 8. Hard, I guess that might be a hot take, but I just don't.
I think they would take out Coil before they take out Sisu.
Really?
Get rid of the problem.
All right, let's move on. Amethyst, that's also going to be a short
Yeah,
discussion.
sure. Amethyst cards.
Raja.
Oh, what's up, Ray?
That's Ray.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Ray?
What's up?
I mean, I guess just to catch up, like we just basically talked about Amber cards so far,
Okay.
and we're going into
And,
Amethyst.
and we spent 20 minutes talking about Amber
What a shame.
This is
All
going to be a long one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So any welcome, Ray. Any Amethyst cards you guys are excited for? I think
Yes.
Raja.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were saying Raja. We talked a little bit about Raja last time.
Raja, Honey Marin.
Isn't it Giant Cobra everyone's hyped about?
That's we're doing mono.
Oh,
colors.
mono
Yeah,
colors.
mono
Okay.
first.
Link.
But yeah, obviously Cobra is like
My bad. My bad. Just tuned in. Go easy on me. First TCG.
That's all good. First TCG.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2
Oh,
cost
no.
3/3. I think this one's fine. Like it's the problem
This
is it has
not
a lot.
playable.
It's not
This
playable.
is not playable.
No.
You still
It's
get
not
Storm, bro.
playable?
Get out of here.
That's the
can't-
whole issue.
The
You
moment you
can't
storm
play
is
it.
dead
Yeah.
against
You can't play
Diggy.
cards that just die to.
Are
let
people
this
even gonna be
original.
playing Storm? You know, like
Yeah.
People are gonna be
Bell-
playing Storm.
Bell
Another
Storm,
Cindy,
hello.
of course they're gonna play. Storm.
Yeah. I'm Bell storming that all day.
I think like what the purple card I'm most excited for is the 2 cost song, the Madrigal song. I don't know if we're talking about like playable mono purple, right?
Mhm.
It's a fine burn card.
Right. I mean, that's,
Oh, the
yeah.
draw card gain a lore one.
I mean, if we're talking about mono purple, that's probably like gotta be
I-
like the top of the
Yeah,
list.
I think this is my family and Honey Marin both go into this like if you're trying to play an uninteractable burn deck and you're at 52 cards, there's
I-
more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
I-
see this being played in like a red purple burn.
I don't know if red purple burn exists when you have purple steel having one of the best burn cards.
That's true.
Yeah.
It certainly exists, right?
yeah.
Well, it
APL is
does.
better than any of the burn cards in purple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see this card being played in like a yellow purple hyper songs,
Mm-hmm.
like hyper aggro songs. Like you play Cinderella on turn 1, you play double harps on turn 2, and sing "This Is My Family."
Well, that's bullying.
And then the
I can see
turn
that.
after that, you play like Triple Daisy, and the game is just over.
Triple Daisy,
Tri-
yes.
Triple Daisy,
Ah,
sing,
yes.
sing
That's,
another. This
It's
is my
so
family.
simple. Why
Just
didn't
triple one on 3 is
Think of
easy,
that.
right?
Well, no, I mean, like if depending on how many songs you can fit in this deck, you can play 4 Lilos, 4 Maleficents, 4 harps, and
Oh.
4 daisies, right? Like
Mhm.
that's a lot of lore density.
Yeah.
And
You
then
just,
turn
you
them
just need the
sideways.
songs, yeah,
It
and
is.
just turn them sideways.
Is
you
it
just
time
need them.
for It Calls Me?
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
lost.
It's
It
I
great.
calls
lost
me
a-
is in this
I
deck.
think It Calls Me is
100%.
actually worse than this card.
I lost to yellow purple hyper aggro at Continentals, so let's talk about that deck some more.
No.
I mean, okay.
That
Yeah,
thing
all
made
those
me
one drops,
sad.
huh? Crazy.
Oh man, don't even get me started. Top decking gathering knowledge to kill me.
Do
Fun.
you want to pull up Honey Marin, Josh?
Yep.
Yeah, that one's actually
Yeah, Honey Marin.
like if Honey Marin's probably the best purple card in the set, if I were to guess.
But the problem
So that's
is
the-
like if you're playing like a yellow purple aggro, like wouldn't you rather play Piglet?
I mean, this is just a mini Goofy, right?
Yeah.
It's half the cost for half the lore.
Mhm.
Burns for one, and
I
like
guess.
it's for another.
Yeah.
It's
But it's just-
inkable.
That's
Yeah.
basically the same card, right? It's just a discount.
Especially if
I mean,
you're
the-
planning to play This Is My Family too, right? Like it is a singer for it.
If
Yeah.
we played a deck that was all burn cards, like, would that be relevant at all? Like,
Well, so
what would you
think of
pair
the
it with?
think of the curve now, right? So you can go turn 1, whatever, turn 2 Honey Marin, if
No.
they're on the draw.
You don't want to play this.
Nah, this is
I
definitely
mean,
not a turn 2.
okay, timeout. I know you don't
This is
actually
like a-
do it. Just like, can I finish my thought experiment for a
Sure.
second?
Yes.
Turn 3 White Rose, turn 4 Goat, and having not quested at all, that's already basically 4 lore.
Well,
You're
Honey
at
Marin,
4.
Honey,
Or-
Honey Marin can
But you haven't done any questing.
Yo.
Honey
Yeah,
Marin
It's like you
could,
could just turn a piglet sideways.
I mean-
It'll be the same thing.
Dave, you mentioned you had a list that just had 36 raw points of burn in it, right? Not
Yeah,
counting, not
so
counting
like in
counters?
Purple Steel, you can just have 36 points of uninteractable burn with goats, Honey Marins, White Roses, Gathering Wisdom and Knowledge, Cobra, and that song we just looked at.
this is my family.
This is my family.
yeah.
And so like you just pair that with the purple 1-drops and Smee, and
Well, she could sing "This Is My Family," you know.
And
and
Doc.
Lawrence, and like you just get to 10, and I don't know. I did play it against like a DKP style red blue list that was like really heavy on Pirate's Life, and I could not get the job done. Ran out of steam too much.
I think yellow purple can get that done because like you probably have like the same amount of burns, and then you kind of play boss on the roll. You stack everything, and then you start burning them out. And with Daisy and Piglet, you quest so fast.
Yeah, the reason I tried Steel first was because they can actually battle on the draw. Like
Yeah,
Smee into Cobra on the draw is fine to contest the board.
Mhm.
Whereas the Amber package is like pretty bad.
Cobra dies to Storm.
yes.
Yeah, so it's
Sure does.
unplayable. Literally unplayable.
I agree.
Literally,
If
not
If
to
anyone
be
ever,
prepared.
if
Okay.
anyone ever tells you that, by the way, the first thing that you say to them is, "At least it did something when it entered play."
Well, the first 2 Cobras are in the Inkwell anyway, right?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
more like a late game sort of burn. You don't do it on a turn 3.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you might need to play
depends.
a 4/4 on turn 3.
Like if we're talking about decks that need to beat red blue, the decks that are going to beat red blue are Daisy decks, and being able to play Cobra on the play against Daisy if you don't have Fox, like at least it's going to be able to contest that
Yeah.
Daisy.
I mean, I like
Um,
Cobra's on my list of the best 5 cards in the set.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Do we get
agree.
to talk about real color now? Or
No, oh no, hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
There's-
we're
there's
ready
still
for
more.
red.
There's
No,
still
we're
more
going through all the-
Amethyst. What do you mean?
Oh,
There's,
God.
there's so many
Emerald-
exciting ones.
Emerald comes after Amethyst.
I don't hate Iago. Like the card is
All
okay.
right, I'm gonna ignore that one. Anyways,
I think
What about the Queen?
Iago could. Okay, well, okay, you can't tell me Iago's bad and then come to the Queen. I think this is just
Well,
a
Wait,
she's
bad
this
legendary.
card is unplayable, man. This card
Agreed.
is unplayable.
This card's
Whoa.
unplayable.
Dylan just
Like
wants to play a
compared to
Vanish
the
deck.
other 4 costs, like
Let me
bro,
play it,
it's not
dude.
even the same
This
realm.
is worse
man.
than Hans.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's a legendary.
but what about for the
actually
Queen
quite sad.
deck?
So there is
No.
Queen green or blue purple, right? But like, I don't know.
Queen's bad.
You know,
My biggest
You-
gripe about this card is why is it a legendary? Like the effect is like cool, sure, but like I don't know. Like I've noticed rarities in this game don't.
Don't matter at all.
No,
Yeah,
they don't.
yeah.
They don't exist.
It don't make sense.
Okay. Before we move off of purple, there is actually one other card. Show me more. I actually think that card's legit,
Oh yeah,
especially in these
I don't even
aggro
have that
style.
hold
know
up
what
already.
card this is.
So show me more.
I
as
like
a
this
two,
card.
I like
show me
this
more as a
card.
2-cost uninkable action, and it says each player draws 3.
So the problem
Unplayable.
for me
Literally
with this
unplayable,
card
bro.
is because a lot of these low to the ground burn decks, you already have a lot of inks because you're on daisies. You're probably playing This Is My Family, Genies, or you're playing the Gathering Wisdom Knowledge. You don't have space to fit that. I think
this is way better than This Is My Family.
Why would you play this over the Chromacon?
Yeah, Chromacon's
Yeah.
much better, I think.
I would play.
Why
this
not
over
both?
this.
That's also true.
Well,
It's
you
the ink ability.
You need cards to win, bro. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, you need cards to win.
Winning the
Like
game.
if you're like Chromacon, we each draw. Next turn, we each draw 3. Like
And I
You know,
think
you're not
being
doing anything.
the flexibility to be able to draw one and not give your red-blue players a chance to get Pirate's Life is better than give him 3 and he has 3 hits to hit Pirate's Life on you.
This is like one of those cards that, like, if you draw a card, like, you need like something that like prevents your opponent from drawing cards to make this like
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, you
Is
need
there
a way.
a
You need a way
Broken if there
to.
was a card like that. What?
Oh, we need like
I
a green-purple discard deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is definitely a good deck.
Or purple steel wheel.
Wait,
Just draw
they're
3,
trying to
empty your
push that,
hand, then
right?
sing wheel.
Yeah, they pushed that.
Yeah. They're trying to push green-purple discard, man.
Yeah. The reason
Bring
I
them
like
on the
this
red
card is because I
cards.
like to play mill, and mill's
I was just
getting
gonna
there
say, purple-
slowly.
Mill.
Purple
Yes.
steel mill.
Oh, yeah.
Purple steel mill will 100% be a deck.
Oh, it's just red purple mill. What do you mean? We got Medusa.
Why-
So, like, would this be included? So, I'm trying to think of like where you would include this. Would this be included in a Jafar deck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah,
Well,
that would make the most sense actually. To be
Because that's where my head's
yeah.
at.
Draw 3, gain 3. That's pretty good for 2.
Yeah.
It's like
Is there
lightning
any-
helix.
Other cards that like
It feels
benefit
like.
Oh no, that's
directly
better
from
than
like
lightning
drawing cards.
helix.
Sorry, say that again, Josh.
Is there any other cards that like benefit directly from drawing cards like Jafar does?
I
Or,
don't
like,
Not
has a
think
big
like
so.
Jafar.
No.
But we
I
are
mean,
going into a Jafar
I guess there's
set.
Maleficent, right? So, but that's it. Yeah.
Which Maleficent?
Oh, what
The
about like
purple one.
purple steel aggro? I feel
There
like
are-
this might
there
happen
are a
to
lot
us.
of-
Sorry, the 5-cost purple one.
I
when
have
you
two
draw
of
it.
these in my
yeah.
lets you
draft of
lets
purple
you
steel.
move damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is like Doc, right? But worse.
Yeah.
It's Doc, but worse. Bad Doc.
All right, Ed, that's
All right.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we move on.
One last card because we were talking about aggro so much, and this was revealed also like fairly after our last podcast, and it has really cool art. Will
Oh,
this ever
jeez.
see play?
No.
Yes.
No
will
shot.
It, will
Blurple
it
and
ever
Blurple.
see play?
I will eat Ed's second shoe if this
Yeah.
ever sees play.
Wait, you can go Donald into Donald. Is that kind
Like-
of
No, I.
purple?
No, because they still
Hello?
only win with 25.
No.
I will say
Good,
this is
good
decent
Donald
Yeah.
into
second-hand
this Donald,
board.
right, Ed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wait, what?
It's
Five
it's
cost
even
Donald.
it's
But
not
yeah,
even
good Donald.
remotely playable.
No.
Yeah.
If it
Dave
has
loves
this
this.
board, then it's
If
okay.
you blew Donald into this.
Like, how do
Uh,
they remove this
you-
in aggro? It's literally impossible, right?
It basically it
what I'm
Pirates
saying,
Life
it's
them.
huge.
It Pirates Life them for 5.
Listen,
Yeah,
lose
exactly.
They lose 5 lore when you play it.
You're.
It's like Platinum Angel. Don't you like that stuff? Platinum Angel.
But Platinum Angel, you actually can't win until you kill it. So
Yeah, this
Platinum,
is kind of the same thing, right?
Platinum Angel is actually way better though, because this gets dragon. It can get
It's
like
a soft Platinum Angel.
string. It dies to Maui if you quest with it.
And
I
No,
called,
you don't quest with it. That's the sauce. You
I
leave it
called
there.
this card a month ago, which made me happy.
It's true, he did.
yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, I do hope this gets an enchanted. Also, paves the way for Kingdom Hearts, right?
Absolutely.
Am I right?
So, next color, Emerald.
Red.
Emerald.
Oh, Emerald.
Emerald's
Okay.
next, yeah. Who wants
This
to
is
start?
really
Who's got the
sheer
spiciest card?
Emerald
Sheer
made
con.
me sad.
It's-
Bait.
We're
You
just
think
gonna.
this card's bait?
Yeah.
This thing has 4 lure pips on it, and it only
card
costs
sucks.
4. No, Dave, you're gonna die to this
Okay,
card.
so
for sure.
far, so far I've noticed the running theme of today's episode is everyone's just trashing on Dylan.
Welcome.
He-
Well,
he's-
I
he's
just
not-
don't
he doesn't have any favorite
Contrarian,
cards.
bro. He's a
Hold on.
You
contrarian.
pay 1 more for Gantu and not discard your hand.
any
and
of
it's
my
inkable.
friends,
That's
any
it.
of my friends listening to this podcast
Yeah.
will understand that this is a common practice in my
Crickets.
life is to make fun of me. So it's okay.
Yeah, that's
And
unfortunate.
I'm
sorry to hear
we're
that.
okay. We're literally. Oh no, it's fine. This is my life. I'm used to it.
Oh, okay.
We're reaching at the bottom of the barrel for these. Like I'm trying to find even remotely playable cards in these colors.
Okay.
Like after Sheer Khan, what is even good in this color other than maybe Show and
Pete.
Tell?
One drop Pete.
One drop
Show
Pete
and tell,
is
dude. That
great.
card is unplayable, man.
It's
Yeah.
unplayable right now.
Literally
Show and-
unplayable.
Show and Tell was unplayable at the beginning.
But Show
And
and
then
Tell is
it-
actually better. That's the
Yeah.
problem. It's
Yeah,
a
Show and
much
Tell- I
stronger
agree.
card.
I think
Yeah.
he's too. Show and tell's
So-
too expensive in this game, bro.
Think
Somebody's
of
going to show a tell and try to put Goofy into play, and your opponent's just going to put a dragon.
Dragon.
well,
Yeah.
so I do think Show and Tell is not a bad card. If you because you would play with like Bend, you would play with something else. Like there's
Yeah,
like ways
let's-
you would cheat it.
Okay, the only
Let's-
You
let's
play with
bring-
Band.
Play.
the only
let's bring
viable
up-
characters.
Can we
you
bring
could
up Show and Tell so people know
Yeah,
what we're
let's
talking
let's
about?
explain to people like because
Hercules.
anyone who doesn't
Cool.
play
Can I
Magic
just
will
say
be
this
like,
card
what are they
real
talking
sec?
about?
Okay, so the thing with Shirkan, you could cheat out the lore with like the Queen. You could ignore it with the Kronk ability. But like overall, you're just throwing so many uninks into a pile that this is just not going to be a thing.
Like,
I'm not discarding any cards from my hand if I'm playing this card. I'm just curving out.
You are
Dylan.
not playing this on curve and not discarding cards.
Dylan.
Yeah.
It's not
Watch me.
happening.
and if
You
you
could. You
do,
could play triple ones and then
You have to play
more
triple.
ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, yeah, there you
How
go.
many of these can you even put in your deck? What if you
Two.
draw two?
2 max.
2 max.
Then one's gone.
This
Yeah, you just have to space. It's like Doc, right? Sometimes you draw 2 and that's life, bro.
what do you
Yeah.
do
But-
if
you-
one
but
has
you
You can
Prince
still play
John?
both dots.
yeah, you can still play both.
No, every
dots.
turn you play a sure. Oh yeah, you have to draw into the next one nicely.
Yeah.
So
Is
Show and Tell's actual name is called The Return of Hercules. For those of you who have never played Magic before, and it's the legendary action where you each reveal a character from your hand and play it for free. Context though, in Lorcana, active player, aka the person who played Return of Hercules, reveals their character and plays it first.
Yep.
So keep that in mind. They do not happen simultaneously, even
Yeah.
though they do.
yeah. So if your plan is to like Return of Hercules out of Tremaine, they just get to see that you're putting in a Tremaine and they just don't put anything in.
Well, no, you could
Failed
play
to
a
find.
character, right?
Well, I'm like, let's say I'm the active player. I'm playing a very spicy Ray red-green deck, and I Robin Hood into Return of Hercules, and I put a Tremaine into play. You know, they see that I'm putting a Tremaine into play. If they don't have any characters, they don't have to put something in just to get eaten by my
Okay,
Tremaine.
unless they clarify, I guess, how this card would resolve, right? Would my Tremaine effect banish my opponent's character?
So,
Wait, I thought they already were like
Did
asked,
they?
somebody asked that. It's like
so this is
other
how it
person.
works, right?
Yeah.
The person who plays Return to Hercules picks their card.
Mhm.
I pick a dragon or a Tremaine. You're the second player. Just don't pick anything, because
Gotcha.
it's just going to
Right.
die. Right.
Yeah.
Suppose both players have a board, right?
Or you play Diablo 1-drop or something. Yeah.
Or right. So let's say you play the Return of Hercules and you put Tamatoa into play. Right.
Mhm.
Now I pick a dragon because I'm playing red blue as well.
Yeah.
Right. The Return to Hercules resolves and both characters are in play, and now your ability goes in the bag. And so does my dragons, right? So you get to resolve your Tamatoa effect first, get back your item, and then my dragon blows up your Tamatoa.
Okay.
Yep.
So
But if we like both pick dragons, which is I guess something that we could do, then the two dragons will kill each other. Yours will kill mine first, and then mine will kill yours.
okay, because the trigger still sits there. That's
Yeah, it's still in the bag.
got you. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So you just
Trade.
discarded the Return to Hercules to do.
The triggers.
I think this card is not bad. I do think it's not great. I think it's something that would be cheesed in like a green-blue list to get out a Mufasa. I think there's ways that you could do that, or there's ward characters. You could just play like a ward character that's strong, you know? So I don't think it's bad. The problem is you're never going to want to hardcast this. This will always be wanted to be sung. And
Well,
5
this
cost
is
singers,
not a
not
song.
Can't be
Not a
sung.
song.
Oh, it's an action. Oh, so I mean, what I mean, sorry, it would be played for free with like Robin Hood or something. You know what I mean? Like it'd be played for free somehow. You could play this for free with the big genie shift. You know, there's things like that. Overall, probably not being played though.
I think there's
the best thing you
only
can do is the Robin Hood.
one liable combo with this that DeCandio mentioned was the Chief Bogo and Prince Philip. I think if you want to go shenanigans like that, I think that's the only viable one where you very least you get full board clear, and then you just have.
Is there action sheet though in those colors besides?
There's like
Cheap, but there's
Dr.
discount.
Facilier's cards.
Oh yeah, there's like
Yeah.
the
Iago,
Iago.
Starlight Vial.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this card is something that it's not good, but it's not good. Like it can be good if we get more big payoff characters, right?
Because this to me seems like a Robin Hood deck card.
Yeah, like right now our pool of good big
Yeah.
bomb characters it's like kind of bad.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's mostly
it's
Ruby.
not
I
good
mean-
right now. It will be good one day.
Ruby
Yeah.
and Sapphire.
I mean, that's the thing with with cards like Just in Time or like Mufasa is like you're never gonna flip a card that is just gonna like win the game in one turn, right? We don't have those. We don't
Right.
we
I
don't
know
have
about that. Just in Time can do that.
We need an Emrakul.
Yeah,
Dude,
we don't have Emrakul yet.
listen, just-in-time decks always crack me up, man.
At
I
DLC
just
Treno,
always
some
see
guy
them.
went just in time Isabella on me, and I couldn't remove her for like 3 turns. What do I do?
I mean,
what do
but
I do?
Those were the only 2 mono emerald cards I had.
well,
Go
you've
ahead.
missed
I believe
you've missed
we
Pete
mentioned
the Pirate
Yeah, I was
Scoundrel.
gonna say you mentioned Pete earlier.
Yeah, this card I think is actually playable.
Yeah,
In
one cost,
in
one
part
shield.
because the guy that shifts onto this one is kind of busted.
Mhm.
But this card's pretty good.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
adding
It
to
also
the list.
works with like sail. In
Yeah.
blue green.
Yeah, like I like this Pete. It's not too much of a commitment either. I mean, almost all decks play actions, right? And that isn't a song, or all.
I think mostly
Most.
Sapphire, but any other combination, most of their action is a
Yeah.
song.
That or Green Steel is like where he'd fit, right? Instead of
No.
slotting in Benja or
Yeah.
something.
Green Steel is all songs. That's the problem.
It was all songs,
Yeah.
but
Dave,
like with
you,
the
like-
support
Yeah.
from everything else, right? It's
And
different now.
hypnotize.
Yeah,
yeah, Hypnotize.
Hypnotize.
Dave, do you like the King of Hearts?
I
Got that
don't
one.
like King of Hearts.
Okay.
But
but you
he's
think he's interesting?
I
Gotcha.
think it goes well with the Queen of Hearts. I think this is meant for green
I think
red.
that's more accurate as well.
What's lore accurate? Sorry.
The King of Hearts going with the Queen of Hearts.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lore accurate.
What
I
was
think
I
he's
gonna
fine.
say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Red?
he's like fine. I wonder if like a ping damage deck will actually be like not bad. So like we've seen the Robin Hood ping deck, like green steel Robin Hood deck that's like been relatively okay. So maybe you just slot him in. Just the uninkable is just so painful in any of the
Or
decks that do damage.
if I think if it was at least a 3 cost, it goes well with Chief Pogo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But being a 4 cost makes it a little bit tougher to get out on curve with green steel
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah, we
Is-
briefly
The
touched on
activators
him.
just need to be much better than they are.
Is it weird
Yeah,
to any
yeah.
of you that like for 6 sets they've built up like this green steel damaged characters like
It's
archetype,
never been played.
and then they like pull the old switcheroo and they're like, oh no, that was a green red thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Honestly,
They're
it's
doing
the
something
player's
very
fault.
awkward right now.
Yeah,
It's all our
Yeah, we're not
fault
playing
because
that
we're not
deck.
playing Steel Chromacon,
Yeah.
right? Like they wanted. Can't believe it.
yeah.
Ruby.
Like maybe
Uh,
that's
well,
No,
I think
relax. There's still a lot of green
there's
cards.
2 other cards or something I wanted to mention.
There's a lot of green
There's a
cards.
lot.
Okay. Show me.
All right.
What are we-
Enlighten
Go
me,
go ahead,
friend.
Rick. What do you want to talk
well,
about?
I was gonna say, do we want to talk about the 1-drop lady? Is that the only lady shift target?
Yes.
I don't think there's one
Uh,
in yellow.
Yeah, right.
Because
She's
I
got-
think like lady itself is a very good card, and like if that's your only shift target outside of morph, I'm just curious like what you guys thought about it.
No,
She's not gonna
lady.
shift lady anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lady.
We're not.
Lady. We're
Characters
playing
have been-
ladies like Kita.
Do you
Like-
want to know what Lady's best shift target is?
Morph.
Unironically, is Morph.
Yeah, well no, that's
Yeah.
a lot of characters' best shift target.
Yeah.
It's just
It's true.
perfect in curve.
That little blobby bastard's gonna turn into so many dogs.
I don't think this one's playable. I don't think ladies.
No.
This lady.
Gotcha.
is
She's
playable.
she's uninkable.
No, I just wanted to hear you guys.
It's nice she's a 1 cost, so you can shift.
because that
up
was the
easier,
only
but
reason she would
that's
ever
about
see play is because she is a 1 cost. Right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you just have
Like-
Merfolk on 1 if you're playing an uninkable 1,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Or maybe
Well,
if
in
there
those
was more
colors,
tramps.
you get Merfolk, Lilo, and Daisy.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So
This
Yep.
would be your
Yeah.
13th through 16th uninkable 1-drop.
Right. So
Want to play them all?
the thing with this Lilo, or not this Lilo, this lady, is they actually like gave you a card to play on curve with it though. Like they hate doing that. They'll be like, oh, if you have a whatever in play, this costs 1 less, but the whatever costs as much as the card you're trying to discount.
Yeah.
So at
Yeah.
least this one they gave us a tramp we can play on too, and he
Yeah, but-
even costs less if we have a lady.
But the tramp is weird too because now he costs 1.
So you can play another lady alongside him.
I do think this is a decent card. It's not bad. Especially if you're playing a very low to the ground deck. It gives you a form of removal. When you can like empty
Yeah.
your hand and then your weenies becomes like buffed up to take up something big.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna play against this
No.
ever.
Really?
I
No.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing it against
Yes,
me, Ray,
I'll play it against you.
I don't think anyone else
Yeah.
is gonna
Yeah,
ever
like
play
I
it.
don't think Tramp is bad. He's
I
just-
have a green
Really?
blue geyser
He's
deck.
like alright.
Aggro. Yeah.
so this is the kind of design that I absolutely hate in this game, where like you have this card that pairs with Lady, which is obviously a very aggressive turn 'em sideways kind of card, but this is like a challenge 'em
Control.
card,
Yeah.
you know? So like you put Lady in your deck to turn her sideways, and you put Tramp in your deck to challenge things, and now you're just being pulled in two directions, and you don't
Mhm.
have a functional game plan.
No.
Even if this just costed 1, I wouldn't be interested.
Not at all.
Like, get rid of the first ability, change the 2 in the top to a 1.
No,
It's a
actually,
hero.
and I'd still
you know
never play it.
you know what, Dave? Change the 2 to a 1. Keep the first ability.
Probably still not great.
So, like, you know, it's so
Like-
funny you mentioned that though. Like, why is this inkable and Lady's not? Like, that's the frustrating thing to me. Like, if
I mean-
Lady 1 cost was inkable, like, I think it would be considered.
I think, if I'm being honest with you, sometimes they just take a dartboard and they go, "What's
Yeah.
uninkable today?" That one.
Emerald Coil is uninkable.
Like,
Emerald
why?
Coil. Emerald Coil. Not
It's so
bad.
weird
This
because
card
like, they
This
clearly
card
want us to
is-
play these cards. but
has a good use.
Yeah.
It does.
What?
Peter Pan.
Enlighten me.
You
Unlimited.
You put the green Peter Pan into play and then ink.
Yep.
And now they
Yep.
can't gain lore for the turn because they can't challenge it.
Unless they have Go-Go or something. So there was a way to cheese
No, I'm
out
kidding.
Peter.
This card sucks. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't play Emerald Coil.
No, this card's crazy. Unlimited.
Limited, yes.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Are we talking
I-
about good cards or?
Yeah.
what?
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
sorry.
All right.
We
Yeah,
we
get-
have
get me-
we have a
get me
whole
out.
we have a whole other.
We went down a path.
I
and
actually
just
think
wanted
this
to
card is
mention
good.
Lady.
I actually think
You pay
Grunge?
one-
Grunge?
Gringe.
How do you say that?
Gringe.
Grunge?
Okay, so
Grunge,
what 4
grunge.
cost action are you playing on turn 3?
Zeus.
Brawl.
Don't worry about
Oh
it.
wait, no.
Brawl costs 3.
Brawl,
You
yeah,
already
My
get-
bad. My bad.
Improvise for free.
BKU.
No, the reason I like him is because like I actually like the green steel Smee. Like I like the whole pirate thing they were trying to go for. I don't know how good it's gonna
That's
be,
what I meant.
but like it got a lot of synergy,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I think it's like
Sure.
worth looking. And I think he's like a good card.
I just think in this world of like red blue,
Coils and
this
Sisu.
small ball stuff is just never gonna work.
Sure.
Agreed.
Absolutely not.
You need to
And
either
that's
kill them
okay.
or join them.
If
Yeah.
they're
So-
using
and
the
like-
small CC on this, then they won't use it on my bigger stuff.
Ray.
It's like you have fun playing casual until you run into a red blue player. And
But
then
they're not even gonna play small Sisu on this. All they're gonna do is go, okay,
No.
at quest for 1, I'm just gonna sit here and ramp and play big Sisu and
Yeah,
kill all your stuff.
yeah. You don't care. Like if they human Sisu this, like you're jumping for joy. Like you might have a shot to win that game,
yeah, but the thing
right?
is,
Like you can
I mean,
clear their
Winnable?
little
But-
Sisu like the next turn. Like this guy's just gonna get swept up by the big one.
But like the overall general is just like anything you play, everything that they're trying to push in design, just straight up die to Sisu.
And
Yeah.
even if you ban Sisu tomorrow, this still isn't playable because it's just gonna get punished by the purple engine.
Right.
It's like getting held back.
So Ray, this is a question to you. In the Robin Hood deck, what are you playing on turn 2? Like
Turn
that's
2.
yeah.
So I think the best card on turn 2 is if it's aggro, you have Mulan to try to help you stabilize the board.
Mhm.
Or you play Sherwood Forest, so you can set up to protect your Robin Hood.
Gotcha. No, I just wanted to say
Yeah.
because that would be the only chance that has a slot in.
No.
Mulan or instantly sounded better.
Yeah.
Or Ursula.
Yeah.
Or,
Or
Ursula.
Ursula,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I
Yeah,
was saying.
Ursula. Ruby?
Yep, please.
There's
All right.
No playable
Josh-
Ruby only cards.
Whoa,
Josh,
there's
there's
so many
one.
more
There's
hold
green
on.
cards to
There's
go
Hold
one.
on
through.
a minute.
There's
Hold
so
on a
many
minute.
more.
What other
Josh
green
is about to
cards?
tell us all of the good red cards in set 7.
Wait, are you still on green, Josh?
Yeah, I'm still on green. What are you talking about?
All right.
What?
Okay.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing.
Wake
Get
me
me
up.
out.
Actually, I did have a question. Did any of you say Anastasia was good? I feel like one of you did.
Oh,
I
the 3
didn't.
one.
Yeah.
I think it's playable, and blue-green geyser aggro.
What does Anastasia do?
I
You pull her up?
remember someone was like pretty high on it. I don't remember if it was one of you. It's a 3-cost,
No.
3/1, quest for 2, and whenever it's challenged, they discard a card. It's like
It's
Merfolk.
Flynn.
It's a big Merfolk. Yeah, or
Yeah.
Flynn.
If this card costs 2, I would be all about it.
Agreed. It doesn't, so we can move on. There's one singular red card that's playable.
Perfect. Anyways, continuing on with the green cards.
Card Soldier Royal Troops.
Yeah, card soldiers we talked about a little bit.
Yeah,
last
we
time.
talked about that one last
Yeah.
week.
I got
think this
less
card's
hyped about
playable.
it.
I mean,
wasn't
I
here
did
to
too,
give
but
my
it's at
opinion
least
on
a
this
red
one.
playable card because this is it. Other than
I-
this and maybe Ruby Coil, like there's nothing else in
Okay,
this
I mean,
color.
what are
nobody
you
likes the
playing?
Phantom Block?
Rocket Stitch is better, dude.
This card is certainly not playable today in this format, but like
No, it's not. It'll be playable one day.
I'd rather
Yeah,
play
card
Moana
soldiers.
because that synergizes with pirate theme.
Milo Thatch, maybe.
I have it on my list. But
Which
it's
one is
like,
Milo Thatch?
That's the 2 ink 2/2. When you play an action, yeah, you may give chosen character +2 strength.
Like maybe.
Worse than Mulan?
Turn 2
Better than Mulan?
No, hold on. Turn 2 Milo. Turn 3 Brawl your thing. Kill your Daisy.
you know what else does that? Always.
Brawl.
Well, you could just play. I don't even know the name of it. The Red Gaston from set 1. You could just
Gaston.
play that
Oh, yeah.
and always kill the Daisy.
Yeah.
It's better. You don't have to
Okay,
go an action.
The Little Queen of Hearts is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, another
not
one
bad.
that's just so close, but like
Yeah.
It's
Like,
it's,
yeah.
it's
Turning
almost there.
turning this card into like a 4/3 for 2 is kind of good.
Kind of nuts.
Is Shift
But
Queen of
you gotta-
Hearts a 3 or a
yeah.
okay 3?
I think
Yeah,
this
they're
is
both
something
threes. Both of
you
them.
play with teeth and ambition.
Yeah, maybe. Not today.
No, not with green
Ah.
steel.
I'm looking at red cards and I saw blue and I was just sad again.
Dude,
mean,
blue's
what
a
do
horse
you-
card. I'm just saying.
What do you guys think of the mini shark? I guess Radical.
It's- It's way worse. Shark doo 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 doo. It's way worse. Shark doo 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 doo.
yeah, I'll keep
It's way worse.
I'd rather
I'll
just
keep
play
this one in
Tigger.
the
I think Tigger's better.
I'll
Mhm.
keep this one in the
Tigger's
bulk
better.
box with card soldiers.
We do have a critical mass of when you play an action game.
Game of War.
Yep.
You now can play 12 of them. So
It's storm time.
if you wanted to try to do that,
Other
The problem is
interesting
the
Ruby
exerted
cards?
part, right? Like I feel like this guy just instantly.
Yeah,
dies.
why
That's
why
true,
this
yeah.
guy has to be exerted, doesn't have evasive, like for 2 more you can get a whole,
Shark is
a whole
egregious
half
compared
shark.
to this.
A whole half shark.
Or just play Tigger.
This can't even kill any brooms.
Oh,
What
Uh,
brooms are you talking about?
Wow, it got real quiet. Okay, we can move on.
Yeah,
you missed
it got
the
extra
raccoon
quiet.
joke.
But
Are we
I don't
going
know.
to?
He's like,
Steel?
Whoa, Ruby Coil.
Ruby Coil I think is the best red card in the set, and I think it's unplayable.
I agree, and also kind of agree.
Sadly agree.
So,
Like
Steel?
you
the thing-
could
go ahead.
you could like if you're like a Maui's Fishhook gamer, you could like play one of these instead of Maui's Fishhook, so you can like play play Maui on turn 6 and ink and kill their library.
I don't want to do that for one very important reason. Because the one fishhook that I would play in my deck is both foil and signed by Dave. So I would rather play that.
Me too.
Yeah, those are the kind of deck building decisions you get from SLTC.
So you would see this like okay, I unironically think like I know I've been joking about the horse deck. This is like actually a pretty good horse card because
It is.
Yeah.
if you had like Wendy Darling as a 3/1 support, 2 inks gets her to give something 10 attack pretty much. So like that's not nothing.
That's a
Aren't
bunch, yeah.
people playing the Scepter of Rendell, which is better?
Sure,
No.
because it's a
Scepter's
one
not
cost item. The
What?
reason
You do
why it works
Scepter and Coil.
right, you would
Yeah.
play both in my opinion, and just get
Or
rid of some of
Chaos
the
Los
junk.
Toast.
You have better cards.
So
Yeah.
Steel?
better. You like skipping a whole color?
Yeah,
Dude,
you don't
okay,
want you don't want to
we
talk about Sapphire at all.
Sorry. Well, I want to talk about
I want
Sapphire
to talk about
last.
this card. I like
Okay,
this
this card actually is okay. But it's, again,
This
I
Spellbook?
feel like it has a spot somewhere. I just don't know where. But the biggest problem
Yeah.
is like it costs 2. I think that's the
Mm.
biggest issue.
I don't think that's this card's biggest problem.
Really?
Yeah,
It's,
I think-
Text on the card
I,
is the first
I don't
thing.
know. I think swinging into something and gaining like 2 lore for free is like pretty
You
good.
swing
right?
into something, they're just like, oh,
they're like, oh,
How do you gain
you're
2 lore for free?
you're playing the
I'm assuming you have like 2 of these on board or something.
Yeah.
Right? Like you get
Oh,
one.
just don't exert if you have 2 of these.
yeah,
cards.
like any decent opponent is gonna see that you're playing the punish me for turning my guy sideways deck and just stop doing that. And you're like,
it would
oh,
be
well,
a
you're-
shame if I could challenge ready
Right.
characters.
And but the counter argument is like, okay, well, like they're not winning the game, right? Like they're not winning the game if they're not questing. It's like, okay, but like eventually you have to start doing something, right? Like while I sit here and get 20 lore on board, if you turn your guys sideways first, and then like I can clear all your guys, and now you can't punish me for turning my guys sideways because you have no more guys. Like that's the main problem with this deck, with this card.
There are ways to damage your own characters, but there's like not many, which is like an issue, right?
Yeah, it's
Is
like
it literally only Teeth and Scar? Is there something
all
else?
the red
Uh,
purple cards are just
all-
No, all
yeah,
the new
but-
red purple
yeah, all
cards
the
are
new
obsessed with
red-purple
moving
cards.
damage around.
yeah.
Wait, but does that count as being damaged? this turn?
I believe it was
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
determined that
But-
that's
Because they receive damage.
Moving. Oh, I actually don't know because Mosquito Bite doesn't turn this on. Mosquito Bite places a damage; it doesn't deal damage.
That's yeah.
I think mosquito bite does actually.
Okay, so here's the key though,
Hmm.
right? Mosquito Bite gets around resist, but would still trigger this. Placing damage is not the same as dealing damage, but both result in becoming damaged.
I agree.
Yeah. But did one of our judge friends say that Mother Gothel and injured Mulan don't proc this?
That's different because they enter with. Oh, I don't know. Oh, now I'm confused.
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, sure. Okay, this card sucks. Moving on.
Smart.
Steel?
You guys are haters.
I'm a hater. I'm sorry.
I got 3 steel cards.
Are we just skipping Sapphire?
All right.
No, we'll come to Sapphire later. Yeah,
I
save the
What do you
best
mean
for
the
last.
best for last? I don't know about that.
Sapphire is not even
Josh,
remotely
If
close
2
to
of
being.
your 3 cards are Mulan or Gantu, we're holding them off to the top 10.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm fine with holding off to the top 10. I have one more.
Is it Mickey?
It's Bagheera.
Oh,
Bagheera!
Yeah, he's not on the list.
Bagheera is fine. Bagheera, I think, is good. So this Bagheera is the 5 ink 4/3 quest for 2. When this character is banished during an opponent's turn, deal 2 damage to each opposing character. Card is probably going to see play at some point,
It's
especially if
Kita
there's aggro.
adjacent.
Yeah.
I do think this
Swords,
card
yeah.
is good, but not in this format where red blue is relevant. But if
But the
we're
thing is
in a
that this is going to
meta-
prey on the cards that want to beat red blue.
Which is
Yes, but if you're playing this card, you're not beating red blue. That's the problem.
Right,
Well,
but
It is
there's
fine
decks.
against red blue. It does trade with both Mauis.
There's
Yeah.
decks right now, like Purple Steel Dock is a great example, where you just want to split against red blue and you try to beat everything else.
You're not playing this
This-
in purple steel though.
Well, no. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm saying there is going to be a deck that plays Bagheera that does everything in its power
Blue
to
steel.
hopefully split with red blue
Mhm.
and beat everything else.
So
I
Yeah.
see this fitting in green steel if you play more like an aggro variant,
Mhm.
because then you want to protect your Merfolk, Prince John, and stuff so you can quest. And if they take off the Bagheera, you leave damage on board. You set up Go-Go.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Like I think this sets up Go-Go really nicely. It protects, like it wants to be in an aggressive deck. Otherwise, they're never going to challenge into this.
Mhm.
I think card's good.
I think so. Me and Ray have been doing a little bit of testing with this card, and specifically with the Captain Pete card, for example. And I think like the card that I was more afraid of, or the card that impacted the game more, was the Pete. And like so, in the green steel example, like I'd rather just have that in a 5 slot than the Bagheera. But like it's one of those things that like I think this is like a blue steel card because like you could combo with it, but like also like
what deck or decks were you playing?
I was
that
playing red
testing
blue and green blue.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Bagheera is not really the card for
For sure.
those matchups for sure.
But you know, it's one of those things.
At
like,
least it's at least it's inkable.
What would you pick for it, right? So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the green steel with Go-Go is probably the best use case for this. I think in a lot of cases, any game that Bagheera will win you,
Chenpo would probably do the
as
same.
Chenpo would
Yeah.
probably do the same.
Fair.
And then in Amber Steel specifically, I think Kita is just better at deterring challenges. Like this still gives them the option to challenge, and Kita can kind of completely take that away. Bagheera is quite a bit better against red though than Kita, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see this being strong into into weenie decks like green purple, where their only way to interact with your board is challenge. But if you sort of win the early game, you if you drop a Gira, you leave them no way of coming back.
Absolutely.
Like I think this card will give green purple a problem, and they'll probably have to play like Mother's Knows Best and something to bounce it to somewhat win back the board state.
Good thing we're knocking green purple down a peg.
Yeah.
Um,
If I'm
Yeah.
not allowed to talk about Mulan or Gantu, what other steel cards are people hyped for?
Go ahead, Ray.
Let me see here. Are we shifting Bolt? And never
I think-
steal?
I think Little Bolt is worth talking about, but
Yes.
I know I stated my opinion on Little Bolt earlier. And I think this ridiculous not a knight
How are we not
Mickey
calling
is.
this Baby Bolt?
That's a
We're
full.
calling it
That's
Little Bolt,
that's-
not Baby Bolt?
that's an adult dog right there. That's not a.
That's
puppy.
Baby Bolt.
Does he have the puppy tag?
Nope.
No,
That's an adult dog
okay.
right there.
If he
Alright,
was a
he's Little
one
Bolt.
cost, this would have been so good with the shift bolt.
Yeah.
If this was a one cost, this would be better than every one cost 1/3 in the game.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they can't do one cost 1/3s that have shift 3.
Yeah.
Like they just can't print those cards.
Yeah.
But if this were like
This would have to be uninkable.
if
it was a
this
one.
were just a 2/2 for one with no text, like he'd be fantastic because then you could actually play the good card.
Fazu.
It is funny that this ability, like if you're curving out, this ability doesn't do anything because you shift
No.
first.
Yeah.
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 He's
shifting on a
mainly
shifting
just
on a
for
2.
shifting.
Yeah, shifting
It's
on a
much
2
worse
is
than shifting
so
on a
much
1.
worse than shifting on a 1.
You can't even call Bolt's best shift target Morph because it's yellow steel and Morph is green.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sad. Okay, so what other steel
What'd you
cards?
say,
Did
Rick? What did you say, Fozzie?
Yeah, that one.
Is that how you pronounce this?
Faju.
Faju? Faju?
Faju. Yep.
Fajao?
I'm staying quiet now.
That's probably for the best.
Anyways, each time one of your characters challenges another character, if it's a second challenge this turn, you gain 3 lore.
It's not talked about enough how often 2 cards are swinging into a Hiram. You know, there's like things like that. I don't think it's great, but again, another thing where like you could set up a trap.
Uninteractable lore gain.
In
is
Steel, I think
relevant.
that's actually
This
relevant.
is highly interactable.
I
Is
think
this card actually a
Fair.
hero?
Yes.
yes.
Why
Uh-oh.
is
Actually,
why
it,
is
actually it's
Why
a
is-
held
why is Mulan's dad a hero?
Because he
'Cause
was
he's
a
a
war
hero.
hero. Come on.
Flavor judge.
Hold on.
Flavor judge.
Who is Mulan's dad? Hold on.
He's a war hero. Remember?
it's
He's
literally-
a war. He's a
literally
war
right
veteran.
Yeah, he
It
was in
literally
the
says-
previous wars.
war hero is his
Wait,
Yeah, he's a war veteran.
Wait, Lord Judge. He was a previous like warrior, and then they wanted him to go back to war in his old age.
Well, every family had to send one adult male.
Yeah, and he.
They didn't want him specifically. They wanted a
Yeah,
fa
they just
adult
wanted
male.
one.
Yeah, but he had no
Oh,
sons. Okay.
there's a Reddit theory that says, sorry to go on a tangent, that Fazu was a vital part of the Chinese army's plan. They were planning on giving him, the young captain in Mulan's squad, a wise veteran to help with the misfit unit, but Mulan took her father's place, making the captain's job much, much harder. Good fan theory.
Damn, Mulan, you were in doubt.
But
This
yeah,
will
I think
only
this is
be
worse than the
played
diamond.
in red
Yes,
steel.
this is worse than the diamond. I agree.
so
Yeah,
the,
the
o-
Take
diamond
that,
isn't
Rick.
bad as easy.
the only reason I want to mention it for what it's worth is because how many times does something trade or something swing and then Calhoun swing into like a Flaversham or something? That's the only reason I wanted to mention it.
I think it's fine, and I think it's made for whatever they're pushing red steel for.
Amber Steel.
I think that's
yeah.
what it is.
Red Steel.
Yeah, red
It's
red
red
steel
Steel,
challenge.
for sure.
Anything else in steel?
I don't know. Just Helga's kind of cool. I like her.
I think she's fine.
Eh.
Another shift target,
Yeah, that's why I like her. We just get another shift target.
but just another uninkable shift target.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's
this-
dead.
Dude, how many uninkable shift targets? Why
Right.
does this need to be? I'm mad.
I'm telling
Okay,
you, dude.
this-
Dartboard. They just throw it
no,
sometimes.
No. This card needs to be uninkable. Like if this card were inkable, it would be like a top 10 card in the game. Because like
Sure.
you're
Let us have it.
no.
Kills
It dies
me,
to
snakes.
Yeah, like this is the card. Like let's say you're like, you're like I'm gonna beat red blue. Like my deck is gonna beat red blue and I'm gonna split everything else. Like this is the card that lets red blue win all of the tournaments. Right? Because this card just dumpsters all of the low to the ground, go under the red blue decks. Like you're the beat red blue deck, you run into the person playing their inkable 3/4s for 2. Right? Like
They
this
could
card
be playing Bell too, right? They could
Yeah.
put Bell in.
Yeah, this is a card.
Oh, could you imagine?
This is a
Oh.
card that can't be inkable, but also like it being uninkable means that it's going to dumpster the decks that beat red blue, and then it's just going to be more dragon food.
Right.
The problem that you have now is that it's uninkable. So A, Smee exists, and B, Calhoun exists.
Mhm.
And then C, Jim Hawkins exists.
Yeah, I think Jim's a better version of this,
If-
but
if
again,
Diablo ever
if
becomes
Diablo
meta
is
again.
back, baby.
Yeah.
So there is
Yeah.
one steel card I think is interesting. It's restoring Atlantis.
That card I think is interesting, and is
Because
worth talking about.
Let's
I'll go
take
back to
I think that
your
card's fascinating.
like if you take the Kida example in Amber Steel as your win condition. Now imagine playing this where you don't have to worry about all your guys dying to big Sisu coming down. They literally need ice block and like
Hold on.
or
When you have
coil
2 of
for
these in your
guys.
starting hand and you can't ink to get to 5, that's where I would rip this card in half.
That's why you play Cobra.
4 dozen eggs. Your characters gain resist +2 until the start of your next turn, and it costs 4, and it's inkable. Oh, and it's a song.
a song.
I think I would rather play 4 dozen eggs.
This
And the fact that card is,
It's worse to be a song because then you're not questing with whatever sings it.
but you
well-
don't have to sing it.
Well, the thing about this too, it works with
Yeah, but
Red
this actually stops the tax.
Robin Hood
yeah,
Steel.
this like Maui still kills anything through
Yeah.
4 dozen eggs.
So you can play this in like a Robin Hood Red Steel version. Or let's say you have like a pretty aggressive board and then you don't want your stuff to die, or this protects your Robin Hood basically because you can't challenge a Robin Hood.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
didn't see Red Steel actually pop off this set, like, what are we doing?
This card I think is like one dial away from being a very good card.
Yeah.
But it's like just over the edge of being like probably not good enough.
Mhm.
But like if you make this inkable, it's incredible. If you make it a song, it's incredible.
Yeah.
If you make it cost 3, it's incredible. But it's a 5 cost uninkable non-song action. So
Therefore, it's not playable. Moving on.
moving on.
It's
Sapphire?
fascinating.
Wait, so we can't talk about Mulan and Gantu, right? Is that what we said?
No, apparently we're saving that for
They're
top
on the
10.
list.
Oh, okay,
Dave,
got it.
Dave
got it.
has an embargo.
Yeah. Only other
Okay.
steel cards I like was Mickey was kind of cool, but it'll probably never happen, and Double Trouble's neat. But that's it.
Yeah, fair.
That was actually perfect
Okay.
amount of time on that.
Blue, I'm assuming we can't talk about the 3 cards that I like the most because they're definitely top 10.
I have all 4 good blue cards on the list.
Okay, so we can move on. Does anyone have anything other than the best 4 cards in this set?
We can-
Pepper's cool.
Pepper Puppy?
Yeah,
Is that the one that
The
puts your
inkwell
puppies
one,
in the
yeah.
inkwell? And then Pongo can get them back?
yeah.
Oh, you know,
And
we
then, and then we can get Lilo back first, actually.
you know what
And
card
then,
we didn't
and
talk
then
about?
Pongo.
The red cost 1 tool, or the one cost
Meta-
tool.
Maurice's tool
No,
that is
it's
like
that
unconventional tool.
Unconventional tool.
I think the only thing that this is good for is creating Twitter screenshots of look at all these cool things I could do with Bell, when in reality just playing a 3/3 is all you need to do.
For sure. No. Because I think the best card you would get out with this is probably Dime, or not Dime. Fishbone Quill. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, you know what gets Dime out better? One of the
Tematoa.
best cards in the set.
All right.
Um,
How are we gonna do the duel links?
I have I have a couple blue cards that I think
Yeah,
are
talk
worth
about it.
talking about.
Is Kita one of
Um,
them?
Kita, I think is good. I actually like Matthias.
Is that
Let's
the
talk.
war guy?
Let's talk about Kita.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
play
Kita.
Tala.
it's
Natural
a
war.
worse how far it'll go, but it does ramp.
Yeah. Like putting it back on top is like I think really annoying.
Really annoying. I'm
That-
gonna play Tala.
Yeah, this is a kind of card that you like combo off with LeFou and Fan the Flames,
Yeah.
you know, and other red cards, and you try to use her a whole bunch.
Then you
If you-
realize that you can only look at one card each time because
Well, you don't. I mean, if it just said like there's an adage from Magic where it's like you look at the bad part of text, you know, or you like look at the bad text on a otherwise good card, and you like rate it for that. Like if this just said put the top card of your inkwell put the top card of your deck into your inkwell, like how would you rate it then? Like probably better than what you're rating it now, right?
I don't think so.
Right.
Well-
So that's kind of what it says, except you get to see the second card.
I think like the thing that annoys me the most, like what's the best exert for ability card? I think like the two cards that come to my mind are the Queen Diviner and then the Prince John to play an or get a action or item back from the
I don't
grave.
know.
Like I'm trying to
Exert-
think, like those abilities are so frustrating that why could this not be like an on play or why could this not be a quest?
Right. Exert abilities are so bad in this game
Mhm.
because like your thing can just get challenged like right away. But
Yeah, that's the
Eh.
thing about like in Magic, like Llanowar Elves can't be just like
Challenged.
I'm gonna attack your Llanowar Elves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
Like Llanowar Elves in this game is Pluto, and he's unplayably bad.
But I'd like the exert ability. The exert ability has to be very powerful for you.
Well, that's what I was
even
trying to say.
consider
Like,
playing
what's the
card.
most powerful exert ability? Because like I don't think of any that are played.
There's none that are played right now.
There's the queen back then.
I mean,
Draw
that's,
card.
that's my
The exert abilities are on items.
right. Well, they're on things that don't gain lore normally,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
that's the point that
Or they
annoys
gain
me.
or they gain lore with the exert ability.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Okay.
So, do we just want to jump to Dave's list then?
Yeah, we can
Matthias,
skip this.
sorry.
We can skip this guy. I thought he said queens and princesses.
Well, so what I was gonna ask is, so are we gonna do the top 10 now, or are we gonna do Duel Links and then the top 10?
Let's do Duel Links.
Yeah, let's do dueling.
So how do we want to do the Duel Links?
Just shout out what you want.
Pick your favorite.
That's what I was trying,
Alright.
Dave.
What are
I
your
want to
favorite
rant.
dueling?
I want to rant about Family Madrigal.
Oh,
yeah,
Dave
perfect.
also-
Oh,
All right. Go
Dave
ahead.
also
Yeah,
wants
bring
to
it.
rant about
I've been
Family
waiting for
Madrigal.
this.
Let's do it.
So-
All right,
Wait, Bumi, move
Bumi,
the
this
mic.
card is good.
Bumi, move the mic closer. I want full volume on this one.
You want full volume on this one.
Perfect.
Deep size, huh? So this is the Family Madrigal. It is a 5-cost song. It's Amber and Amethyst. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may reveal up to 1 Madrigal character and 1 song and put them into your hand. And then you put the rest of the cards on top. All of the cards you don't reveal go back on top. So I have so many problems with this card because it's like they want to give Amber Amethyst like to be like the secondary, yellow song color. Like you can play, now we can play yellow songs. We have a Madrigal that is an evasive singer 3. That's pretty exciting. Or I'm sorry, an evasive singer 5. That's pretty exciting. Like she's not just going to get challenged and banished right away. You have some kind of cool cards in Amethyst. Like you have Friends on the Other Side. You have It Calls Me. You have Poor Unfortunate Souls. Like there's definitely songs that you can play, but then you have like the Family Madrigal, and this card costs 5 and sometimes draws you 2 cards. And Madrigals are like below rate anyway, so like one of the cards that it's going to draw you is like probably worse than a random card that Friends on the Other Side is going to draw you. And also like you have to have a bunch of songs in your deck, which is fine. That's what we're building. We're building a Madrigal songs deck. But if you play this and you miss in your deck that you want to find Madrigals and Songs, you have to put the 5 non-Madrigal and non-Songs cards back on top of your deck and draw them for the next 5 turns. Like, there are so many things about this card that I just don't understand how it is the way that it is. Like, let me draw all the Madrigals and a song. Like, give me one song and all the Madrigals. Give me just all the Madrigals. I don't care. Like, I want to draw lots of Madrigals in my Madrigal deck. Like, they're like teasing us with these little theme decks that we just can't play competitively, and I think it's frustrating to casual players because like they want to bring their theme decks to a set champs and like be able to be competitive. But then you have cards like the Family Madrigal, which is a 5 cost sometimes draw 2 that's like limited and puts the cards back on top so you can like combo with your Bruno that you played at some point. You're like, but you can't take notes. You can't write down what the next things are. So if you have a memory issue, like, man, good luck. Good luck triggering your Bruno. Like, I don't play Bare Necessities and I don't play green cards because I can't remember the cards that are in my opponent's hand. like, you think I'm gonna remember the order that I put the 3 cards back on top so I can get value with my Bruno card? Like, not a chance. Like, I'm not that smart. I just cannot believe this card is the way that it is.
Say about this.
Please go ahead, Dave.
Even worse than missing is hitting with this card, because imagine you just reveal 5 Madrigals. You have to put 4 of them back, and you just said they're all below right.
Right.
You just bricked your next 4 draw steps because
Just let Madrigals be collected company. Just let them get all the cards. Just let them go.
Yeah,
this card is so much worse than Friends.
But they're family.
98%
You
of the
can't
time.
separate them.
Yeah, you gotta keep them together.
It's so
That's
much.
the crazy part is that Friends exists.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like this.
Yeah,
the
but
song...
friends aren't family.
Friends are better than family.
What does
Yeah.
Ohana mean?
means
No
no one
one
gets
means
left
friends on the other
behind.
side.
So,
So-
the line is right. So you obviously play Ariel with this deck, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the Family Madrigal, hoping that Ariel is one of the 5 cards so that you can put it on top. So next turn you can draw the Ariel and play it and shuffle the other 2 away. But by
Yeah.
the way, they could also not be songs, right? So now you're going to brick your Ariel, but at least you can finally get the other 2 Madrigals.
So you know what's something
On the
interesting,
bottom
Dave?
of your library.
Yeah.
Alma could work too, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You play the Alma. You search.
Yeah.
You
'Cause, like,
search for a
she's one-
Madrigal, and then
yeah.
you shuffle your deck.
Yeah, she's like one of the only cards that lets you shuffle your deck, right?
Oh, and by the way,
There's 2,
put the
yeah.
card on top because the Madrigal's obsession is on the top of the deck instead of into your hand.
Wait, how
Yeah.
many tutor cards are there? There's like 3 now.
There's Big Merlin.
There's
There's
like
Slipper,
4
right?
There's
there's
Alma.
I-
There's Slipper.
islands we pulled from the sea.
Islands.
Yep.
Yeah, that's 4.
So
Go ahead, Boomy.
the other issue I have with the Family Madrigal is the Shift Mirabelle that they printed.
It's the whole
Is-
family.
She's a 6 cost. Like the card seems like somewhat excellent, except you can't even get the Family Madrigal back. It costs too much. She only gets back 3 cost. So like
yeah,
you're,
but she'll get back friends.
she'll get back friends on the other side. She won't even.
The better family map.
She'll get back. This is my family, and she can sing "This Is My Family" again.
Hey, the set champ
and-
Mirabelle can sing this song though.
Oh, don't even
So
get me started.
you know.
You're right.
Next.
Okay, I'm gonna list off dual cards.
Sure.
Tell them if they're on your list, and I won't talk about them. Bolt.
Bolt's not very good. You can talk about Bolt.
All right, let's talk about Bolt. I want this card to be good, and I feel like he could be okay with Sven.
Yes, that's what I'm going
Yeah.
for.
I want to play this with Sven.
Yeah.
Bolt and Sven are going to be best buddies.
This card like had me really excited to play Lorcana in set
And
7.
then they didn't give you a
and then
one-drop Bolt.
they didn't give. I like even if they like don't give me the 1-drop bolt, but they give like a reasonable 2-drop you can shift on. Like that's not what you want to be doing, but like if the card is good by itself and playable, then then you know what? Sign me up. I'll pay 5, over 2 turns for this. That's fine. But like, just the shift targets he got, it's like you're gonna play him for 5, then you're gonna quest on turn 6, and then on turn 7 is when you're gonna get the benefit from him.
No, because you're gonna play Sven.
Okay, you'll get the benefit on turn 6 because
But how many characters do you have in play?
bunch of
3.
you can
And why does it even have to be undamaged? Would it have been too good if it just said gain 1 for
Well,
each other
because
character?
there's a lot of cards, Dave, that remove damage now, so you would obviously combo those in.
So I bet you they test this with one of the bolt shifts being a 1-drop. Was like, this is too good, and then nerfed the shift, and then didn't fix this.
This is not. You would never play this over Robin.
Oh wait. Can I hit on something real quick? I love the banished chosen illusion characters when there was only 3 illusion characters revealed.
There are 3
That's
illusions in the set,
It's Cobra.
and
Hey, lots
this-
of options.
this dog is coming for him. You got
Oh,
you
fuck,
got
he's
illusions. Bolt is coming
Bolt's
right
staring.
for him.
Look at that
Your
face,
Cobra is toast.
He's getting
Yeah.
cooked.
Okay.
So Dave, are you saying you would not play this over
Robin
Robin Hood if we had
this
a good
guy's
shift
like
target?
Zeus when Robin Hood survives.
I don't care. This card does everything that I want a 5-cost shifter to do.
Like,
Really?
imagine you
Yeah.
do something crazy where you play Simba, and then you quest it out, and then you Swen, and then Simba and exerts everything.
Yeah.
You get double
Like,
proc.
You can manufacture like board states where this guy's going to get you like 3-4 lore every time he readies. It's really not that difficult, I don't think.
Okay.
I won't
Tramp.
stop you from trying.
Assuming Tramp's not on-
I'm not gonna try.
He's
Tramp's not on your list, right?
Wait,
Nope.
just stay with the Amber Seal ones, right? Just go
Oh,
that way.
Well,
Kenny.
Penny's
Penny.
on his list.
Yeah.
Are we
Penny's
gonna-
on the
Are we going
list.
to talk about all the gold cards?
Oh, then go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah. Which ones do you want to talk about?
I'm just going through in order. Like, I looked at a list and I just pulled out ones that I like. Tramp.
He's good.
I like Tramp. I think there's a deck that is going to exist with Tramp. So he's a 7-cost, 2/6 quest for 2. For each character you have in play, pay 1 less to play it. And then when you play this character, you may draw a card for. You basically loot for each character that you have in play. I think it's sweet.
This is like a 3, right? Like a 3-cost card, probably. Maybe like
You're
4.
playing it on
4.
turn 4, right?
Right.
Just go
Yeah,
1, 2, 3
4.
into this.
Yeah. This card I think is like an excellent example of what a gold card should be.
Agreed.
Like I feel that like when I think of yellow and green, I think of playing a bunch of little weenies and trying to have a payoff for all your little
Mhm.
weenies.
Mm-hmm.
I think this card's good. I think it'll see play. I think one of the things that this helps a lot with is like if you're playing yellow green with like Stitch Rockstar, one of the things that you have a problem with that deck is that you reach a certain point where it's like, crap, I have 2s or other shift targets instead of the 1s to continue to pop off. And so you can play a bunch, draw this, and with like a bunch of cards that you don't want in your hand, then you can play this,
Mm-hmm.
go back to putting 1s in your hand, unloading, and keep going. I think it's good. Pascal, Garden Chameleon.
Not on the list.
I think it quests for a lot.
Quest
It's
for a lot and
evasive.
he's evasive. I like
I don't
this
know. It's
card.
what yellow purple hyper aggro wants to do.
But would you play
yeah.
this over Genie?
I got
Um,
mine for you. You
yeah,
can play
probably-
turn 1
probably not.
Pascal. Turn 2 Lantern Pascal.
Turn
Turn
3 Miss
3.
Pascal.
Pascal.
all right.
Oh, we're cooking.
Oh baby, Pascal.
Wait, a Pascal only deck? Wait, the blue Pascal. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a yellow purple card. I don't know if I would play it over Genie. I'd probably just rather play Genie because
Yeah.
Genie at least draws a card. But this
Yeah.
quest for 3 and questing for 3 is
Yeah,
a
I mean,
lot.
this is a
Quest-
super aggressive card.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't know if the yellow purple decks we're gonna see are gonna go up to 4 though.
I'm going to assume Lady is on your list.
Ladies on the list.
Okay, so we can skip that one. Giant Cobra I know is on the list. Jafar, newly crowned, is not on your list.
Not on the list. Needs more illusions.
It does.
Needs
and
more
I'm
illusions.
wondering if next set, if we're gonna get more illusions in the Jafar set.
I mean,
Because
we have to, right? Like,
We have
what
we,
a shame.
if we do, I want to look at this card because A, it's a Jafar, and we're probably gonna get a decent shift Jafar, and B, if he makes more illusions, now we're cooking. So it's a 4-cost 2/4 quest for 1, and whenever an illusion dies on your opponent's turn, it returns to your hand, right?
Yeah. Dude,
Whenever one of your illusions is banished on your opponent's turn, return that card to your hand. A quest for 2.
Quest for
That's even
2.
better.
so you know what would be cool? Like if the next set they made like a shift Jafar that was like grab an illusion from your deck and like put it into play or something like ridiculous, right? Because like I'm trying to think of like where the theme of illusions fits in, and if illusions aren't being played cheaply, like what are we doing? So I think that would be a really cool like Jafar shift for next set, and like
Yeah.
I don't know, there has to be more illusion support.
I was
I'm
hoping.
For sure.
assuming
Do they take the illusion mechanic as a token generator, like Magic the Gathering? I think that would have made the game more interesting.
No, keep it
An
away.
action- an action that
I
puts
think
like
it's
three
Too early.
2/2s into play that have banish on
Yeah, I
them.
think it's too
That'd be
early for
kinda sweet.
tokens. But that's
Too
what I
early
thought
for
illusions
tokens.
would be at the beginning.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of cool.
tokens would be cool.
Okay. Yeah. I think the only reason this card is even remotely discussed is because I think next set we're gonna get more illusions. If we don't, this card is bad. Baymax? The green blue
The
one?
green one's not on the list.
Okay. We
green
can talk
blue
about that
Do you have
one.
any green
It's-
blues on your list? Geyser maybe?
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
I think Baymax reads shift onto Tipo.
So shifts onto Tipo or like 1-drops because like there are multiple green blue lists. There's the yokai. Like so like I made a list today of just
Yeah.
a bunch of weenies that like you could shift onto. It's cool. I am not actually a fan of this card after a little bit of testing. So green blue had a weakness, and it's if cards went quick, then how do you beat them? So the issue I ran into is that like they could still go quicker than Baymax killing one creature, and then you're
Yeah.
just like still losing, and you lost a card in hand, and it bricks your hand. So that was the issue I ran into.
Fair.
Good card though. I do think
Cool
it's a good
art.
card.
I think it's cool.
The
Really
concept
needs
is
a
cool.
blue-green song that costs 6.
Mhm.
Yeah. This
well,
card would be nuts as a monocolored card though.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Like-
the cool thing about this is it like shift onto Tipo, sing how far I'll go. That's like the coolest thing it can do.
Yeah,
But
you
you could just play how far I'll go.
you also
Yeah, but you don't get a 5/5.
But you probably the issue there though is that you're not playing muses, you're not playing Flaversham, you're not developing a larger board. You need more singers in green blue if you're going that route. Like so, there's a few issues. It's not bad though.
At least
Yeah.
he quests
Do you
for
want to
2.
just throw
'Cause
Geyser
if he
up quick?
quested for 1, he'd be unplayable. The fact he quests for 2 is like at least like it could be okay.
It's a great
he's
thing.
not even inkable?
No.
No.
He's really good after a Clarabelle refill and like just another lore cheat or another body. Like so one of
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
things.
We've talked about Ink Geyser to
Oh
death.
yeah. Okay,
Like,
never mind. In
Yeah.
testing though, it's been really good and fun, at least.
Geyser.
So
Is Pete Space Pirate on your list?
He's on the list.
yeah, it should
Okay,
be.
we can skip then. The last one that I had that's not probably going to be top 10 cards is the Blue Steel Hey Hey.
You have the floor.
You guys like discarding your whole
Okay.
hands.
So no, hold on. So turn 1 Popsicle,
Got
turn 2 Tipo,
it. Easy.
turn 3 Quill,
All right.
or
all
sorry,
right.
turn 3 Hiram. Don't pop the Popsicle. Turn
Alright,
4
alright.
Hey Hey, ink your whole hand, quest with Hiram Popsicle. Pop the Popsicle, draw 2.
Easy game.
Then wheel.
What did we do?
Damn.
Okay,
We
have
did,
a
we did
lot of ink.
something, but I don't know.
We have a lot of ink.
Wait, your Hiram's not surviving till next turn. What are
No.
Watch it.
Red cards don't exist. Red cards do
What
not
happens
exist.
if your opponent plays Brawl?
Or
Then I-
CC.
Then I ink the Hey Hey. Okay, honestly, this card's probably just bad, but that's the coolest thing I could come up with.
I think this is like one of the most I think this is like as unsafe a card as they will print. That isn't just like
Isn't that sad?
Maui Half Shark or Sisu.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that
there
I don't
is-
have any other dual ink cards.
I'd-
So if anyone else wants to bring one up,
I'd actually like to go back and talk about another steel card, Miss Bianca.
Yes, please.
let Miss Bianca. I don't even know what this card is.
The
If you have
5/5
an ally.
rat.
Yep.
Oh, I know which one.
She is a 6-cost inkable 5/5/2. I think she quests for. Oh, she only quests for 1.
Should I
Yeah.
guess or one?
Nah. I was envisioning like just. I thought she quested for 2. I don't know why I thought she
Dude,
quested
It's
for 2.
crazy
Six
how
plus
much of
is
a
so
difference
much.
questing from 1 to 2 is compared to questing from 2 to 3.
Oh yeah, it's
It's a massive
So
difference.
this is a 4-cost 5/5. That's like how you have to look at
yeah.
it, right? But, like,
I was thinking
Singer
about her as
6.
I was thinking about her as a 4-cost 5/5/2, which is much different than a 4-cost 5/5/1.
she could sing Treasures Untold.
Yuck.
You
Well,
guys,
I wanted to go Smee, Lawrence, Bianca, and
you
just
guys
have.
know we already have a 4-cost 5/5 that barely sees play, right?
Yep.
With bodyguard.
Well, the
Yeah.
best 4-cost 5/5 is the Scrooge, right?
Yeah,
And
And
no,
that
I
one
thought
also doesn't see play.
It
Yeah,
sees
well, I
more
thought-
play than not, but yeah, I agree.
I
with
thought
you.
this was just an inkable Scrooge, which she's not.
Nope.
All
Okay,
right.
Dave, top 10?
No, there is a dueling.
There's more dual cards. Relax.
dual- Um,
There's so many.
Dylan has.
But most of them are bad.
Yeah, I'm cool with not
actually,
talking about it.
no.
Ah.
If you're talking about the puppy theme, I think they're a 1 or 2 cards away becoming a actually legit deck.
All right, Ray.
Ray, which one
Blue,
first?
yellow puppies.
Which
Go
one?
ahead.
Dude, we should just show you the deck list.
I think Thunderbolt,
Thunderbolt first.
Puppy Shift,
Thunderbolt Puppy Shift.
3/7
Sick.
Bodyguard. That's how do you kill that if he gets out on turn 3?
Coil Brawl.
I'll tell you how. One card is called Sapphire Coil. and the
Okay,
second
okay,
card
but
is called
outside
Sisu.
of that, outside of
Yeah.
Coil,
That's the thing. You gotta also evaluate outside of red blue, right?
yeah.
It's
That's the thing.
it is so fun to think about cards like when you pretend red blue doesn't exist.
Okay, let's ignore red blue. I'm gonna Medusa it.
Okay, but it's not
Okay.
until your turn 6.
If you're
I'll
reducing
have wiped enough
this
board
against
by
Puppy,
then.
though, you're probably like already behind. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna call
yeah.
PETA on you.
But isn't this just like Pluto? The shift
Yeah.
one?
Without all of the weird text on Pluto. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not
But
trying
that
to shift a card.
Pluto shifts for 5.
Yes.
Does anybody know what Pluto does?
The bodyguard
Uh,
removes
yeah.
Three
Heals
seven
for
3
3,
damage.
Yeah, he heals himself
Yeah.
for 3.
So
I mean, this card's pushing in the right direction.
I wonder how they decided that it was going to be blue yellow that was going to be the puppy's color.
well, because
Yeah,
all the
that
puppies
was-
are.
Yeah, but what
Well,
about
we
blue,
didn't
though?
have
That was
we didn't
interesting.
have blue puppies before. They're all
Excuse
yellow.
me, sir. Can I introduce you into Ravensburger's dartboard?
So
No, they said yellow has puppies. Let's give that to blue as well.
No, they literally went, yellow has puppies. What other color can we do? And they're like, that one.
So, like, I think, like, just overall, I don't want to shift this, right? This is inked every time until you could shift it for, like, a lethal, right? Like,
I think you want to shift it.
I think you want to shift
do
it.
we?
Yeah, I think you want
I want to turn
think
my
you wanna-
crappy puppy into a
Yeah.
thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Are there any 1-cost puppies?
Unfortunately,
Shifting
not.
because
No.
shifting on a 1 is so much better than shifting on
Wait,
a
there's
2.
not a 1-cost puppy?
There
Problem
isn't.
the puppy
Why are
deck
we
is gonna
talking
have
about this?
is
So
that
that's
it's
the thing. I'm saying that we're literally like couple cards away of becoming a real deck.
So,
there's
so
actual
is
one-
shift-
Yeah, we're
And
just
that
we're
is
just
what-
So is Tragic
Go ahead.
Hero. So is, like, all these different shift cards. Jasmine. Like, we're not playing them because there's not
We're-
good shift targets.
we're just waiting for that
We're
other
just
1-cost
waiting, yeah.
broom
Yeah.
for these yen sids to pop off.
We'll be
But
waiting
that's
until
what I
set
like
12.
about this set is like they did expand a lot of these worse or like left out archetypes a bit. Like
Yeah.
obviously there's like clear winners for like coil and whatnot, right? Or red blue. But like all these other
Where's a pen?
not talked about, not touched archetypes like puppies or red green or red steel, they did get like a decent amount of help.
But the problem
But the
is,
prob-
it's not enough to be competitive.
Yeah.
I think where a lot of people
that's
are
the
upset
thing, but it's a good
is-
start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what
I
card is
don't-
this? I'm ripping a Sisu in half if we don't start talking about Dave's
Which-
list.
which It's
I will
okay.
say
I know
the other 2 blue yellow puppy cards, the Perdita and
Pongo.
Pongo, are like kind of good. But my problem with this whole color pair is like you're just never playing this over blue purple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They just don't have, like, you
You
need
don't
to
have
swarm.
the card draw.
Well, like,
You also
it's
don't-
the
you
win
also
on the
don't have,
draw,
like-
right?
Yeah.
And you don't
Yeah.
have the fighters.
Yeah.
Like
And
no crab, no
like if you're
Box.
playing blue yellow, like just playing like the Alice curve deck in yellow is
It's
gonna
better.
be better than
Yeah.
puppies.
Yeah.
One card I'm confident is not on Dave's list that some people probably want to talk about is Mushu.
Yes, Mushu I
Yes.
like.
Yeah,
Okay, tell you what.
If you have
The
red
red-
steel interest, go for it.
Yeah, the red
Yeah,
steel cards.
agreed.
Like I want some Mushu.
Alright.
Go ahead, Boomy.
I think this card is like the best punish your opponent for turning him sideways card there is.
I agree.
And I don't think this card will see competitive play. Like this.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think red steel is a competitive deck. I think I've seen 2 different versions now that have showed me that it is. I know I'm getting X's. So one, I got owned by a Talisman Purples deck, and I'm still mad about it. But it's like red steel locations. It's the same idea with the shark deck that DKP has, where you play locations, and then now you have to attack these locations, so your cards are turned sideways. All right, cool. So then the other thing though is that red steel needs things to benefit them, and this is a great enter, play, and then you can gain from it. I think red steel isn't that bad though.
Yeah.
Overall.
I think if you're playing the red steel deck and it's not really a known deck, you'll get some people because they will
surprise factors for sure.
Yeah, they'll not play around Mushu. They'll forget what he does. They'll forget how much he costs. But once if this deck starts rearing its head and people learn how to play against it, it's just gonna be good players playing against Rapunzel.
Yep, exactly.
They're gonna make you jump
Open
through
deck list, this
so
gets
many
even.
hoops.
All right, red steel
Well,
in general.
I mean, if you're playing red steel, I think it's pretty abundantly clear you're gonna have Mushu in your deck. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But now you know
I
though,
like
when you run into the
I
red
like
steel
this
player.
card. I like this card a lot. It just doesn't fit with how the game is played.
Right,
in a
exactly.
competitive way.
I think that's the problem. With their game design, and Amber being pushed to be a healing, that kind of thing.
Well, no,
Is
it's
it-
not healing. Remove damage deck.
Well, yeah. Well,
Amber,
it's sort of like
Amber
healing.
needs to go the way of the color white in Magic, and it started as a really memey heal your characters, other stuff, and it needs to just start getting really good, efficient creatures and removal.
Dave talk.
Josh, is there anything else you want to talk about before we get to the top 10?
Oh yeah, so many. No, not really. Dave, do you
Number 10.
you guys like
Don't make-
Gizmo Duck? I
Don't
like
make
Gizmo Duck.
fumbles.
That
You're
and
ripping
Mr.
those
Smee are good.
Sisu.
No, I think
He's gonna
okay,
rip
time out. I think
Enchanted
Mr.
Mr. Smee and Gizmo Duck are good. That's it.
Actually, hold on. Is Mr. Smee on the list? Because I forgot to talk about that one.
Those 2 are not on the list.
Oh, we could talk about Mr. Smee. Sorry, if Mr. Smee's not on the list, we can talk about Mr. Smee.
Big next.
I think he's bad.
So you think 3 cost 3/3. Whenever you
It's
play an
terrible.
action that isn't a song, you may ready chosen pirate
Never
character
played
quest for
this
1.
card.
Okay,
Ever?
because most of the good songs actions you want to play in green steel combinations are action
songs.
songs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's terrible.
And all the good cards are 3 cost on Inkables in green steel.
yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously this is a different green steel deck.
Yeah, it's a
you
different.
100%.
probably are still playing Diablo, but my biggest issue with this card is that there's one reasonable non-song action that lets you combo off, and it's improvised, and you don't have any other 1-cost cantrips.
Yeah.
That's what you need. If you could go
Yeah, they're all songs.
Smee into next turn a character and double improvise, you're gaining a ton of lore that turn.
You came back, lets you ready 2 characters.
Wonderful. Another, but that's
At least with You Came Back, you can discard it to Diablo to put it.
yeah. The main problem I have when we have a critical mass of 1-cost cantrips in this color combination, I think this deck is going to be good. I think this card is actually pretty excellent, but the cards aren't there for it.
Yeah, it needs a
Number
bit more
10.
non-song actions to work out well. But there's still an okay amount. Fire the Cannons improvise, Smash Deduction is they're all okay.
Imagine you
It's-
made
yeah.
this.
It's certainly a different build than what you're
Yes,
used
it has to be.
For a second though, just imagine that this was ready another character, and then was red green instead of green steel.
Oh
Oh
god.
God,
With
Robin Hood.
And triggered off
Oh,
triggered
God.
off of songs too.
Nah, no, Boomy, relax, please. man.
Yes. You need
All right,
these
Dave,
kind
ready?
of
The only thing I
combos.
want to say
Like,
about
Magic
Gizmo Duck
has
is I
them.
think he's just a fine include. That's it. In like Green Steel normally.
Number 10.
I'm not doing the top 10. You guys get to pick one of these to be number 5.
Okay.
All right, the first
You
one.
get-
That one.
You can choose
That one.
Green Steel Pete, the Legendary Scrooge, the 1-drop Mulan, the 4-drop Steel Gantu, Cobra, or Penny.
4-drop.
Okay, hold
still
on.
Gone too.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so
Alright,
Green Steel
Cobra.
Pete, Legendary Scrooge, 4-drop
Gantu.
Gantu, Penny, and who?
Cobra.
Mulan and Cobra. So I guess it's 6
Hmm.
cards for one
Oh,
spot.
Mulan and Cobra? Well, Cobra's number 5.
Wait, Cobra's not in your. Oh, okay, interesting. So probably Cobra then. I said too soon.
I'm picking Cobra number 5.
I vote Penny.
But let's talk about these cards. So let's start with Green Steel Pete, because to me, I think that one's the
He
worst.
just
Oh,
no,
you're
he
so
just
wrong.
owns all non.
This
Oh,
card
red,
is
blue
so
deck.
good.
Pete is really good.
Yeah, Pete.
No. Wait, so hold on. When I talk about the worst, I'm still talking about the worst of the top 10 cards in the set.
No.
Like, I still think the card is
Sure.
good.
Cobra's
And he's
worse than
shiftable.
this card.
And he's playable, and all the other Pete's are playable.
On
Well,
curve.
2 of the other.
Hold on.
all the other players.
I want to hear the absolute blasphemy that Boomy just said.
What's up, Boomy?
I'm actually with Boomy, by the way. I picked Penny.
You
That's-
think this card is worse or better than Cobra?
Yes.
I think this card is quite a bit better than Cobra.
Yeah, I'm actually after testing with
Wow.
Ray, this card slaps. By the way.
Pete's great.
Okay, so 6-cost Pete is a 5/5 quest for 2, shift 4. While his character is exerted, opposing characters can't exert to sing songs, and your pirates gain resist 1.
So he gives himself resist 1.
Yeah, he's also a pirate, to note.
And then you're most likely playing Smees. All your Smees get resist 1, which is pretty crazy. And
That's
top
pretty
of that, like if you talk about decks that are like this will shut down as like Amber Steel, which is big in the meta. If I put this
Blue Steel.
down, Blue Steel,
Yep.
I gave LD a hard time with it earlier. I got 3 Pete's and he just scooped.
Are you shifting on?
Shipped
Oh!
and hard casting. And
Yeah, so
they
like,
Wait, the 3-cost 3/3 Pete referee.
Yeah. Yes.
right, and it's
Yeah.
what do you do with that Pete? Dude, Dylan, there's no fucking
Yeah.
way.
I had a moment. I forgot.
and then
Go ahead, Ray.
I was like, what are you
I'm letting
shifting
Ray
on?
cook on this one.
yes. So, and what's also makes him strong is he's 5/5. That is insane. Like it's hard to get rid of.
Oh,
Technically
6.
5/6.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, even against red blue, if they have shark out, if they trade their shark dies, or they if I'm out, they cannot sing freely until they deal with it.
Okay, this card's sweet.
Well, you shift. You could Bruno. Like, there's like cool things, but like
Yes.
the thing I had trouble with against
No,
this card,
you can't shift in Bruno.
No, you can shift them.
Why
Bruno.
can't you?
opposing
Oh,
characters.
oh my god.
As opposing
It
characters.
isn't characters can't
No,
exert
it's
to
not
sing
no.
songs.
It's
Oh,
Yeah,
Swingers competitive.
God.
So
Yeah.
This card owned me. So if I played green blue, I pretty much lost as soon as this card hit the field. If I was playing red blue, I had no way to really kill this card. And like if he had 2 Pete's out, Maui does not kill
Maui-
this. Like that's
Yeah. Maui kills the first one.
Yes.
no.
But there was
not
a
if they're
game
done
I
with
had
their
two
to.
out,
Not
Right.
those two.
Well,
which
right, yeah.
is really obnoxious.
Beep gets both of them.
I had 3
He
out
does get both.
both against
but
LD,
then he plays Gontu.
and I slammed my Gontu one. I had
So-
2.
Oh, actually,
I had 2 Gontus on LD today, and he was
I
like,
saw that.
How?
Let's talk about Gantu next. That's a perfect segue because I
Hold
think
on,
that's
hold on.
number-
I have a question that needs to be
Go ahead.
answered. How is Green Steel getting to triple Pete's and a Gantu before Blue Red is getting to 9 ink for a beat repair?
"Oh, I'm talking about Blue Steel."
Oh, okay.
was Blue
With
Steel.
LD. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
Blue Steel. LD was
So
playing Blue Steel.
against blue red, he would just go quick enough that I would lose, right? Like because if you don't have the prep at the right time, you just lose, right?
Right,
So
right.
All right, Josh, show me Gantu. 4-cost uninkable 2/4 quest for 1. When you play this character, characters can't exert to sing songs until the start of your next turn. So apparently they want to stop singing. This is the real part though. So for those of you who play Magic, this is Thalia. Each player pays 2 ink more to play actions or items. And this is very
We like
relevant
Gantu.
going into this. We love Gantu.
We love
Yeah.
Gontu.
I think this card's good.
This is very impressive.
And all testing I've seen so far in both blue steel, purple steel, and green steel, this card has kind of been very obnoxious. I wouldn't say
Maybe-
it's definitely not number 1 in this set. So I'm happy that Dave's
No.
considering her 5 because it's so easy to punish this card. Like you kill it, and then you could do your item, then you could do your action, whatever. Overall, though, just the disruption enough is just obnoxious.
I think this is the card where a bad player will make it look weak, but a good player plays it at the right timing, choke you on a B prep, or knowing that you want to go, like, especially against item builds of red blue. If I make you lose your hand and I drop a Gontu, you're in trouble because like you want to B prep every 2 more. Any items you want to play to draw off of your workshop is costing 2 more.
I had to pay 3 for a popsicle earlier, and it broke me.
I saw LD pay 5 for 1.
Well, the other thing about Gantu that I really like is like green steel is becoming this kind of interesting prism deck, and green steel can, especially discard builds, can choke you out of ink. So like even red blue is not going to have excess ink. So like they might have to take a full turn just to brawl this.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I think might get some players is this little reminder text that says this doesn't apply to singing songs. So like once this is in play against Steel Song for a turn cycle, like they can just go about their business as usual.
But
but against them, it's like Pete's, Pete copies 5 through whatever.
Yeah, no, it's like your
Also-
6th Pete. Like,
Yeah.
because like I don't see you playing 4 of these. Like 4 seems a
no,
lot.
you're playing
Well, green
2.
steel also has
It's
the
like a
Pete,
2.
which dunks on steel song.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One we just talked about.
But like
Green
imagine
steel.
you
Oh, yeah.
Pete into this. Like that's so good, man.
It's very obnoxious.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also fun to note, this card doesn't interact with Prince Naveen at all.
That's true.
I really want to know what card I'm missing that's on Dave's top 5. But anyway, so that's fine. We can skip. So
it's 4
that's,
blue cards apparently.
Well, no, it's. Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
What-
we'll get
What's
there.
what's the mono blue card we're considering for
Scrooge.
Scrooge?
is
Scrooge?
on the list.
Yeah, let's talk about Scrooge. Sure. So Scrooge is it cost 4?
4
Yes.
cost. 4
cost,
4
4
quest
So
for
for
4,
1.
yeah, 4 cost 4, quest for 1. Exert 4 items of yours to play this character for free. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal an item, put it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your any order. I still think this card would be awesome if it actually costed 5 instead of 4, but I will die
You want to sing
sad
Whole New World
on
with
that
it?
hill. I want to sing Whole New World with this thing. But no, legitimately, I think early game this is just a 4/4 scuttle. But the fact that late game it can just be a free look for dime when you're trying to kill somebody is reasonable.
Yeah, dig 4 for dime for free is pretty nice.
I like Scrooge.
This is a very strong card. Like me playing against it, like me as a reputable player, every time they put Scrooge and they have like 6-7 items, I'm like terrified because once they get that dime out and Tamatoa, it's like I get OTK.
I think this card is better in red blue than it is in blue steel.
Yep, I'll take
Because
blue as
red
well.
blue has a lot of random items that just sit there. Like it has the coils, it has ice blocks, it has popsicles. Like it has a bunch of items that
Yeah.
you could just
Both
like
like them.
start.
Yeah,
Important to note that your pops can exert, your coils can exert, your workshops can exert, or like whatever
Yeah.
items you put in. Right, it doesn't have to be those, but
and still be used.
and still be used.
And still be
So I
used.
think that's the important distinction there. So
No, I think this is a good card in
Yeah.
the red blue items deck that is going to be popular.
Red also has a bunch of just like good random
going to be
tech
popular.
items too. Like you have the shield, you have fish hook if you want it, you have red coil if you want it. Like red has really good tech items. Steel does not have those.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is very
Imperial
good.
Bow, dude, bring him back.
Let's
that's
talk
a
about
lot.
Imperial Bowl and the red steel challenge deck.
No,
Let's not talk about
Uh,
that. Let's
Right,
talk about
so,
Penny.
Yeah, Boom, you want to talk about Penny?
Yeah, I love
this card
Penny.
owns.
I
like
like
it.
Penny.
Penny's my favorite aggro card in the set.
Like you can
two cost,
heal
one-
me and give it resist is insane.
You
So
can
Penny's a 2 cost 1/2 quest for 2. When you play this character, you remove up to 2 damage from chosen character, and they
Yeah.
gain resist 1 till the start of your next turn.
Yeah, like this is what a heal card should be, where it's like you're not playing this card because it heals, but that it does heal is a nice bonus, right? Like if this were a 2 cost 1/2 that gave resist to something, that would be like pretty close, but having the extra additional heal like makes it so it's actually probably a pretty good card to consider as a 2-drop. The 2-drop spot, like Amber and Steel together have like the best 2-drops in the game. So this kind of fights with those, but also like this is good to play maybe a couple turns later. Your Smee is taking a couple damage. You let it live for 3 extra turns because it's not going to take a damage the turn you play her.
Or even to do a trade and still have your Smee alive.
Or Calhoun.
Yeah.
Penny is so good with Smee.
Yeah.
Penny is so good with Calhoun.
Yeah, or
This is
you
great on
trade
Bumi,
in, or you trade, with your Lawrence, you eat something of theirs that has 2 strength, and then you heal him back up, and now he has resist. He doesn't die. He doesn't die on the crackback to the Fox. They can challenge in if they want to lose their Fox and put 4 damage on your Lawrence, but they probably shouldn't do that because you're just going to draw 3 next turn with Rapunzel.
I love this card for Amber Steel.
Again, I can't state this enough. The fact
Yeah.
that it quests for 2 instead of 1 is such a humongous deal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like going from 1 to 2 lore is an astronomical difference,
Like-
and then going from 2 to 3 is not even that big of a difference. It's still nice, but going from 1 to 2 is like the biggest stat difference.
Yeah.
I mean, this is another card that's like fun to think about, like your lines with it when you get to pretend red blue doesn't exist, because
Yeah.
because your characters, like when your characters are getting damaged in the red blue matchup, they're just dead. And this gets swept up by Sisu and doesn't even need a coil. But like in all of the other matchups, like in any challenge based matchup, like this card is fantastic. Like you play this on 2 on your Daisy, or you play this, into their Fox turn or into their Crab turn on your Daisy, and now suddenly your Daisy isn't going to die. Like it just screws up all of the math that your opponent has to do. And this card's better than Cobra also.
Yeah, I'm going to briefly touch on Cobra because we kind of talked about it last week, but I think it's just another option in the 3-drop slot that's like going to be better or worse than both Lawrence and the White Rose, and like which one you choose for your deck will probably depend on the metagame that you're preparing for. But I don't think they're like drastically different.
So I talked to the god JDRR. He said pretty much like, Cobra is good if you're going to red blue. We're going to a blue meta, right? But also the problem is like when you commit to the full burn, you reach to a certain point where you just gas out and then you just lose as well. So there's actually upside and downside. So if you don't finish them, they get parts life out. You losing that 1 card and you don't have ways to draw it back, you just lose the game as well.
Yeah. One thing I'll
Yeah.
say about Cobra that I like is a lot of purple steel decks have cut friends from the list, and Giant Cobra is an excellent singer.
Giant Cobra's an excellent singer.
An excellent singer of strength, an excellent
This
singer
singing
of friends.
So this has happened to me so much today of play Cobra, ditch whatever crappy card, sing friends the next turn, and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. That was pretty annoying.
So the other one that was fighting for this spot, that's probably not good enough, but I wanted to mention is just the 1-drop Mulan.
Yeah,
I like this card.
I love it too.
the card's
And
excellent.
it's just an inversed Simba from set 1, so it's a
Yeah.
2/1 when it comes into play. You draw, and then you may discard. This, I think, has a lot of applications in the Kiwi deck that our friends Harlan and Justin have popularized. One of the issues that like that blue steel aggro deck has, and any steel aggro deck will have, is playing all the crappy steel removal spells against they're good until you play against red blue,
Right.
and then they're quite poor. And Mulan's just a 1-drop you can play in a deck that's like pretty devoid of good 1-drops and filter away your bad removal spells against red blue.
I know this is the inverse of Simba, but it being the inverse of Simba is such a big deal. The fact that it's 2 strength instead of 1, again, it's massive.
Yeah.
It can be worse though, like against Tipo,
It can be.
but
And also,
in a lot of
red
ways, like
steel.
it's a good fighter for a 1-drop.
Yeah. This does open up like the super high roll steel song like possibilities too, though, with the set 2 shift Mulan.
The Amber one.
The
Yeah.
Amber one. Yep. I mean, it's going to be bad, but people are going to play it, and people are going to win games because they're going to hit whole new world on the second turn of the game.
It's crazy.
I thought it was only you looked at the top 4 and could only play a 4.
No, I think it's
four.
just you look at the top card.
You can play any
It's
song.
it's a top card, any song.
Any
top
song.
card.
Like-
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
well,
you're gonna like look at this family, turn 2. You're gonna
That's not-
draw the 2 best characters in your.
Oh
your
man,
deck.
you got me
I tried
brewing
it
now.
in yellow green for one
Yeah.
of the in-houses. I hit Under the Sea. Felt good.
Ray's leaving. You just want to go brew.
I'm
Yeah,
brewing
Ray's-
that now. I'm actually
Yeah,
on dream
Ray's heading
board.
straight to the kitchen.
Tomorrow,
Nice.
Fumbles is gonna get a
Oh,
whole new world
no.
off
What did you
Mulan.
guys just
Oh,
do to
no.
me?
Oh no. All right.
Or
All
part
right.
one.
so
Assuming I know it
you have to
I
pick
think
one
I-
of those 6
to be number 5,
to be number
Ye-
5.
I think it's Cobra.
I think it's Pete.
I think it's Pete.
Okay, so hold on. Let's go. Let's actually vote on this. So Ray, what do you think's
So
number 5?
wait, let's catch up, Sailor. So the list. Can you read them off, Dave?
Green Steel Pete, the shift one.
Okay.
The blue legendary Scrooge, the 1-drop Mulan, the 4-drop uninkable Gantu,
Oh,
the
Gantu.
Cobra, and then Penny, the Amber Steel.
It's got to be Gantu, right?
But yeah,
Gantu or
so,
Pete.
All right.
So what Dave is asking is he has a
These are all
Top 5.
honorable mentions that you get to pick one for the top 5.
he has a top 5 list and he's looking for a 5th.
And the
For
top
me, it's
the
the
top
Pete.
4 are unknown.
Okay, so Ray said Pete. Fumbles.
If Ray says Pete, I say Pete. I was gonna say Gantu, but I'll say Pete.
Okay, Pete. I'm saying Cobra. Josh.
It's Pete.
Boomy.
Pete.
Okay, Kate. Sailor.
How is Cobra not on the list already?
Thank you.
Because it's
Thank
not
you.
that great. It's just it's like if you didn't buy Cobra and just played White Rose with Lawrence, you're
So
I think
you-
Cobra is better than your number 4 card, and I think I know what your number 4 card is. Although that card was number 5.
right,
for
but
me, I
like
was
you have
upset.
to evaluate the cards like above replacement level, and the replacement for Cobra is just a card that's just as good.
Okay, so I could see Cobra being outclassed really quickly within like future sets. I think Scrooge has more potential within
The red blue guy.
the future sets.
Interesting.
Pretty out.
Look, man, you have
Well-
enough blue cards on the top 5 list. Let's not.
So the interesting thing was like I could be convinced that Scrooge is actually on the list and it's just 4 blue cards.
But for the culture, we should pick something non-blue, right?
I'm fine.
For
I'm
the
fine with
culture.
Pete being. But okay, so if Pete is 5, Cobra is for sure number 6.
Dylan, I think you haven't played against Let the Storm Rage On in a long time, and it's clouding your judgment.
Dude, Storm my Cobra. It already got 2 lore.
But
But also,
it's
yes,
part of
I
the
haven't
card.
played that
Like,
card,
It's
no.
not. It's not.
Whatever. It's
Yeah.
it's fine. Okay, number 4.
All right.
I think I know what it
Yeah,
is.
I'll gladly take my 3 for 1 on Let the Storm Rage On. You can have your 2 lore.
Number 4, I've got the Amber Emerald Lady.
I think this card's great, and she's gonna shift. Like I said earlier, she's gonna shift on a lot of blobs. She's gonna shift
I
onto
think she's
Morph
a
quite a
5
bit.
cost.
I'm
I
not.
don't
But
think you
also,
ever
she can
shift
just. You don't have to shift her. That's the awesome part, though. If you're
Yeah.
going to shift her, you're gonna put her on blobs, but you don't have to shift her. She's actually probably better as a 5 cost.
I don't think I'm putting Blob in that deck. I think I'm just.
I have
playing
high
that
hopes
5.
that this is a new competitive deck.
I
Agreed.
agree. I haven't
Yeah.
played against it yet, but I'm scared of it.
So, Lady is an uninkable 5 cost. It was one of the first card arts that were spoiled that started to put us towards our Duel Link coming in this set.
Mhm.
It's a 4/4 Amber Emerald. Quests for 2. Again, important that it quests for 2. Shift 3. When you play this character, you may return up to 2 character cards with cost 2 or less from your discard to your hand. This is exactly what you want to be doing in this color combination. Oh, your Daisy died. Oh, your Piglet died. Lady, get them back.
Oh,
yeah,
so no
it's back
died?
for Ursula too.
I have a major issue with it. I have come full circle on it, by the way. I've come like I didn't like it, I liked it, and now I don't like it again. And it's not the card that I don't like actually. It's the whole aggro thing. It doesn't
What
win.
don't you like? What don't you like about it, Red Blue player?
No, it doesn't win on the draw. I don't think this helps.
I think it does.
No,
Mm,
Your things are gonna die on the draw, and now you can get them back with
Your
Lady.
piglets on the draw. What is it gonna do?
Die and
Your
then come back with Lady.
merfolks.
Your-
What are
your
they gonna do on the draw?
You just
Your-
you
your
you
piglet's
just quest, who
brawling,
cares?
bud.
You just turn them sideways.
Piglet's rumbling in.
Guys,
He's got a rumbly in his
Yo,
tumbly.
we're delusional.
Pierre, I'm
This
with you.
deck is gonna be great on the play, absolutely terrible on the draw, and not gonna see play.
I'm not
we're-
too high on
we're
this lady.
comboing,
Yeah. I will say I'm
Sa-
also not too
Sailor's
high on
lost
it.
that storm in the storm right now. You know.
Yeah.
That maelstrom.
Maelstrom.
You can play 16 unequal 1-drop sick quest for 2. How does that? That's got to be able to count to 20 faster.
You're not getting to 5 ink in that deck though.
Then you shift it.
Yeah, then you shift it on your other unequal.
but
Do we
But
play
then you-
0 to hero?
And then
No,
you're
so-
playing.
I actually resolved that problem with the 3-cost Clarabelle,
Right.
because
Interesting.
you just triple 1-drop and then you always have you have less cards in your hand.
Yeah, I think Lady and Clarabelle play very well with each other. You unload your hand, and then you can play Lady, or you can play Clarabelle.
Well, Clarabelle's a land, definitely, until you could hopefully shift her. But
No,
but-
we're playing 0 to hero.
yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
Booby on this. I don't want to play anything that costs more than 5 in this deck.
I think this is probably worse than the Pete, probably worse than the Cobra, but I'm fine with those 3 being like 4, 5, 6-ish.
By the way,
And I think these are the types of cards that I wanted to see as dueling. A reason to play
Yes.
those colors.
by the way,
Another
I've missed the
interesting card.
memo on Pete. Like, what's up with Pete?
Pete's great.
Pete's not good against you, but he destroys the
Yeah.
the
Oh,
skill
Yeah.
okay, that's why. Okay.
Sailor,
We don't talk about
So-
your deck
so no-
yet. Your deck gets the next 3
Another
cards.
thing,
Well,
another thing,
only 2
Sailor,
of them.
too,
but-
Yeah.
is like, how do we actually kill Pete? So like the ways you would kill him in red blue are double coil, which isn't really reasonable sometimes. There's like you have to prep him. You can't sing prep with him out, but like
Double coil is 100% reasonable.
no. What I mean though, right, is like, are you double coiling that, or are you killing like the Smee? Or are you killing something else? Like that's what I'm saying in a green steel deck. So like, are you using your removal on Pete? Because like Maui trades with him, right? That's like annoying for sure. So that's where I found issue with him. But like obviously you could just prep. So
No, but what do you mean Maui deals trades? Doesn't trades if a coil is down.
sure. But yeah, so I agree
Yeah.
with you.
It's a clean.
But if he has 2 Pete's down, then you can't kill him with Maui. So that's annoying.
oh yeah, two
So-
6-drops.
I'm curious in what order these are in. So number 3.
But I get it. Like it's good against the other. decks.
Everything else I think it's pretty good, yeah.
One more side venture on Lady. Is the green Hey also gets you to 5.
Yes.
Is that the one where if you have less ink than them?
You
Yeah,
one jump. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
but like the deck can stop at the deck can stop at 3, right?
Who
So,
did that?
Ray.
Oh,
Well, that's one good card on the draw.
Kit's good on the draw.
Kit's
I mean, it's
much better on the
It's not a
play.
bad
it's
deck.
an option. I agree that like this, and you can also play like defensive tools. Like if you wanted to play another 5-drop, you could put Cricky in there.
I think if we're playing
I like Cricky in these types of
weenies,
decks.
I don't hate playing Cricky, right?
I just think in these color combinations, like you just don't care that you're on the draw.
Yeah,
you
You just turn sideways.
turn them sideways.
Yeah,
and play.
agreed. Turn sideways.
And then
Number
on turn
Number
5, you
3.
play your lady and you pick up your 2 piglets. Your Lilo's in
Oh,
the
wait.
bin already.
Yeah,
You
we're on.
just-
We're on.
I'd love to hear Scott on that.
On green yellow.
No, but like cards, decks that can race on the draw.
I think anything that has Daisy Merfolk Lilo can race on the draw. Like you can get 6 lore in play by turn 2, and like sometimes your opponent now has to be the control deck and they aren't the beatdown, even if they're an aggro deck. Like as if they go in games that I've played, from Amber Steel aggro, like the games that I've played against Amber Amethyst aggro, like if I go, 1-drop, 2-drop, and they go like triple 1-drops and 2 of them are Daisy, like, I'm the control deck. Like I'm not racing. I'm not going to win that race.
Yeah.
So having that critical mass of those 1-drop 2 questers, like you can flip the switch, pretty easily. And then it's on the other person to take control of the board and then turn the corner before you win. This color combo doesn't exactly have a ton of reach, and it doesn't really have a way to regain board once it's lost. But like Lady is a lot of gas. She's pretty big. She can rumble if you're playing Rapunzel. She'll hold the full amount of damage for a Rapunzel.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think there's something there to explore.
Yeah,
You
I think
know.
she's the right design for it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not sure that the strategy is viable. Is basically what I'm come down to. Like, I think it's a good card for the strategy. I just don't know if the strategy is actually viable.
At some point,
Yeah.
we'll have a critical mass of cards that a real aggro deck will actually be viable.
Yeah.
Right?
Eventually.
So
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily know if this needs to be an aggro deck. Like if there are interactive tools, like if there are meaningful interactive tools at like the 2 cost, the 3 cost, and the 4 cost, like you can kind of play a game where you play a go-go, you play a tempo go-go early, trade her in, get her back with Lady down the line. Now
Yep.
you can freely turn this Lady sideways into a Maui deck because they're not going to want to put 4 damage on their Maui for your go-go that they know you have in your
Yeah.
hand.
This card's very good with Go-Go.
So like
I
if we
did want to
have
mention 2 other cards in the same vein as Go-Go that are the Mother Gothel.
The
yeah,
2
Mother
costs.
Gothel is a good
The
one.
2 costs that
1/3.
like Mother knows best something,
And Honey Lemon.
and Honey Lemon is the other one. Because both of those kind of sub in as 4 drops too. Well, one's
Yeah.
a 5 drop and the other's a.
So
And-
you're thinking about like some sort of death and taxes style of aggro, like very
Yeah.
can have like utility disruptive 2-drops or
That
can
would
be
not be
Yeah,
where I
back.
started. I would just be on the all gas no
Yeah.
brakes.
We know that attack for
Can-
2.
But
I think it's
other
it's,
people
it's
can
at
try
least
other stuff.
it's at least a discussion. All right. Number 3.
Well, hold on. One last. You can also get the small Claire belt back
True.
in the same vein.
Yes, you can.
You can pop some items.
Number 3.
All right, I put Coil at number 3.
Oh.
I agree with this, actually. It's definitely not number 1,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Cool.
I thought it was number 2, but I'm fine with this.
Yeah. Coil,
I'm fine with
I
it.
can see that.
Sure. That's
Coil
fine.
just does the ice block thing better, right?
Yeah.
Like you get to take those 4 or however many uninkable slots, replace them with Coil, and you're good. You're like fine.
The crazy part about Coil is not even the fact that, okay, you can double ink and then brawl a 5 power, or you can ink and kill something with Medusa or with Brawl or with Sisu. Even just inking and being able to trade your Maui into something that it would have died before and it survives now.
Yeah.
Like, it's those types of things that people, like, it's not flashy, but it's the reason why Coil is good.
Yeah.
It's the reason why it's the reason why Coil is great, not good. Is
Yeah.
because even when it's bad, it's good.
Maui taking no damage from a challenge, or like not taking enough damage that it gets killed with your Storm Rage on, is like the most disheartening thing in the world. Because now that Maui is going to at least be a 3-for-1. Like it's so miserable to play against a Maui that just gets to like eat your things over and over and
Yeah.
over again. Because like you try to go wide around the Maui, they play Be Prepared. Like it's just
This card makes me sad.
this card
The
makes me
egregious
sad.
part about this card to me is that it's inkable.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
it enables all the good uninkable cards by being inkable.
That's the best part about
Yes.
it, for sure. Because like you could play a lot of Medusas, you could play a lot of human Sisus, and not get really punished for it if you were throwing ice blocks on top.
The frustrating thing about this card for me is that like minusing strength for challenging is effective. It's like you're effectively healing for 2, right? But you can like heal lethal damage, You know, so like if Maui challenges into a Pete, and then you like want to heal the damage off, well, no, he's already dead. He's taken 5. But like if Maui challenges into a 3/5 Pete, like you've effectively healed him for 2 because he challenged a 5 strength character, and he gets to live.
And it's more crazy
talk-
that it can proc more than once.
Yeah, we talk a lot about dials in this game in terms of like how a card can become good, great, unplayable. Uninkability is one of them.
Yep.
For this card, the fact that it minuses 2 instead of 1 is one of them. The fact that it does it multiple times a turn and isn't restricted to once a turn is one of them. Like this
you can
card,
tap it for Scrooge, you know?
yeah, you can tap it for Scrooge.
That's so
like
goofy.
You can do stuff with it, and then oh, by the way, it's just sitting there for either Toa or for Bell or for Hiram or for whatever to do stuff after it already impacts the board. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. This card to me is just completely unacceptable design. Like all of Red's, well, not all of Red's removal, but like most of Red's removal is based around the other character's strength. And this card just like juices the ever living crap out of all of it. Right? So and it like it does it for like so little cost. Like the least fun I have playing Lorcana is when you like build your deck to have characters that are out of range of Brawl and Human Sisu and Big Sisu, and then they're just like, oh, I drew 2 ice blocks, so now my Human Sisu gets your Smee, and my Brawl gets your Lawrence, and my Medusa gets, your fake 5 strength character that doesn't actually exist.
your
and
Tamatoa.
yeah.
One of the cards that I think is maybe people might be sleeping on with that is the 2-drop Gaston from set 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is basically 2-cost Maui now. It's 2-cost Maui.
Yeah.
Like
Immortal Gaston. Like, are you
2-cost
kidding me?
3 for 1. This is like a 2-cost
Yeah.
3 for 1. Like this is
Yeah,
insane with it.
Yeah. Like you
Yeah,
can't turn anything sideways. Like if you're on the draw and you're like you present as like anything that is a turn 'em sideways deck and your opponent plays Gaston on 2, it's just like, oh, okay, GG, go next.
We've talked
They
about
don't even
Sail Popsicle being a wild line. The fact that you can go turn 1 Pop, turn 2 Gaston, turn 3 play Coil, Ink, kill your thing. You don't even have to do anything with the ink.
Yeah.
But if you want to, by the way, you can.
Yeah, you can play another pop.
I think
Another
my biggest...
noteworthy thing about Gaston is that Gaston and Argus are the 2 cards that you can play on the draw into a coil that don't die to humans.
Yeah.
I think my biggest thing is this
would say-
kills
There are
the
characters with ward.
design flaw
Yes.
of like...
All right, Luke's here to close us out.
The
Once
finisher.
a finisher.
What are you saying, Ray?
Like
Except
my
I'm not
biggest
using this time.
problem is like this kills the overall TCG game design about like how is a control deck is so powerful it does not lose to hyper aggro or anything consistently.
Yeah.
It's
Like
I think I still think red blue is going to struggle with aggro decks, but the fact that it doesn't struggle enough is
yes. The fact that if
fine.
they're on the play, if they have the right lines, hyper aggro still probably can't win.
Yeah.
That
They're on the play,
that
so-
is a design flaw.
even
I've been on the play with red blue, and my opponent has conceded at 5 lore.
I've been that person.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
Round 6 of round 7 of NA Continentals, I play against Green Steel, and we finished our 2 games really quickly. And the judge came to you like, "You didn't finish your second game." I was like, "Yeah, we finished. Why are you on 2 lore and your opponent's on 0?" I was like, "You conceded. I left him out of the game."
Yeah. I mean, that's I played against red blue. I played against red blue once at Continentals, and I my on the draw game, I played out not Daisy turn 1. I played out not Piglet turn 2. He answered my like 2 of my things. It's like, okay, yeah, we can. I was at like 4 lords. Like, yeah, you got me.
we can move on.
Let's go. Let's go have our lunch break.
So we've talked about this card ad nauseum from last week too. Is there anything else people want to touch on before we get to number 2 and number 1?
It's just as good in green blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get you as like the steel player, you're gonna get your Lawrence, coil kitted, and then it's gonna get coil mused,
Oh,
and like, congratulations, you lost a
Muse.
game.
I didn't think about
Oh my
Kit.
goodness.
That's
You didn't
I
think
didn't
about
think about
Kit?
Kit either.
well, I mean, like,
So
does
the
that
issue,
matter? I guess.
for what it's
like,
worth, the
Kit's
issue I
an
ran into
aggro.
with green blue is just you really you need the ramp in green blue, where red blue you can kind of survive without the ramp. That's my thought.
Yeah, you can get to be prep reset the board if need be, and also
Yeah.
like the character base removal lets you profit from not inking, from not ramping onto.
That's-
I want to say like this also synergized pretty well with probably what is number one.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
could it
Number
be?
2.
So number 2, I have the late breaking bell.
Yeah.
That is strong.
So
So
This
I think I made a
man.
comment earlier, but I truly do think this is like only a blue steel card, or like
Yes, but
or
it's
very
for now.
this is
but that's just it is for now.
for now, yeah. I mean, what I want this card to be, what I want this card to be when I play it, not when my opponents play it, is Blue Cinderella.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I want to play this on turn 1, use it to control the board for the rest of the game. Play Smee, play play my guys, turn them sideways, use my overpowered 1-drop to sing overpowered songs and keep control of the board until I've won the game on turn 6. That's what
So,
I want this card to be for
Sounds
me.
about right.
I don't want
Here's-
any of you to do that to me.
Here's the thing about this card. Everyone listening to this podcast is going to go on Twitter and they're going to see these crazy flowcharts of like, look at this super cool combo that I could do, where I go turn 1 popsicle, or sorry, turn 1 whatever the
Tool.
Toolbox.
the tool, whatever the tool is, turn 1 tool. Then I'm going to sack it with Bell. Then I'm going to play this 2-cost item like Sapphire Coil for free, and then I could do like other stuff with it. Do you know what the best case scenario with this card is?
Pop Bell go.
Turn 1 popsicle, sack it, play Bell.
Yep.
You don't even have to worry about singing, because this is turn 1 Cindy with Let the Storm Rage on or Strength.
Yep.
But by the way, it's a 3/3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
That's the
your-
best. That's the best part about this card. Not
And
these
your
crazy
card
combos.
disadvantage draws
Yeah.
you a card. Like,
Yeah.
You're
I've got
writing a Fortisphere or a Popsicle.
Yeah,
So
it
it's-
doesn't
yeah.
cost your card.
I've
Yeah.
got a
Like
story
you don't have to
with
worry
Bell.
about anything else.
Pop Bell go is going to be just the most frustrating line to play against if you are not a blue-red player.
And why is it
Like,
a
here's-
common?
Yeah. So hold on. Before
Rare-
we get
well,
to Dave's story,
Rarity doesn't matter.
maybe Dave and I have the same story, but like one of the crazy parts about Bell is that like yes, it's good on turn 1. Here's another crazy line. Ready? Turn 8 or 8 ink. You don't have to worry about anything else. You've got a couple popsicles in the bin, and you've like either wheeled or you've drawn a bunch of cards, and you have no board in play. Nothing. You have 8 ink. Tamatoa, get back 2 items. Play the item, draw a card. Sack the item to play Bell. Play an item, draw a card. Sack the item to play Bell. You've spent 8 ink. You've drawn 2 cards. You've put a 4/5, a 3/3, and a 3/3 in play.
Yeah, so mine's
Like-
similar to that. I played one game of paper with red purple against my buddy who wanted to try out blue steel. And he went turn 1 popsicle Bell, turn 2 Smee, turn 3 Quill ink a card, turn 4 ink a card with Quill, banish the Quill to a Bell, put a Tamatoa into play. But my opponent had 3 3/3s and a 4/5 that drew 2 cards
On turn 4.
on turn 4. And I was like, okay, Rabbit, go. And they were like, Quest, put Dive into play. And I was just like,
That's. I've never heard a better story in my life.
Go.
Rabbit, go.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. And then
Rabbit, do
Tamatoa
something.
Quest put Dime into play for free.
For
yeah,
free.
so that was my one game against Bell so far. And
I have a good story about the
Setting,
Tamatoa,
testing.
but I'll save it for what might be number 1 card.
Yeah.
Maybe. Spoiler
So
alert.
2 other things about Bell is like, reminder, you don't have to sack your item on turn
Yeah,
1.
you don't even have to. Yeah, you don't have
You can
to.
you can wait and do it later when it's potentially more meaningful. And the other thing I'll say about Belle is I think she's probably going to be the most misplayed card in the set.
Yes.
You mean you don't have to sacrifice your banish your broom to draw a card the first time you have a chance to?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
crazy
Right. So
talk.
like,
What?
so for sure, the next time I play test against my friend on Blue Steel, I'm going to play Red Blue, and he's going to try that same line, and it's just going to lose him the game on the spot. It's like,
Yeah.
now he'll be stuck
If
with
it
a
quested
crappy.
for 2, if it quested
Oh,
for 2,
Luke,
then that
please.
line would be fine, right?
Yeah.
Like you could be aggro.
But so here's the other crazy part about this card. There's a third mode. There's a I'm going to play it on turn 1 mode. There's the I'm going to play it late game just as a tempo card mode. And then there's the I'm going to ink it mode.
Yep.
Which
I
is
thought you were
going
gonna
to
say
be
I'm going
the
to play it on turn 3 mode.
No, no.
That would be horrible.
That mode doesn't exist.
That's not in the book.
That mode doesn't exist.
What about the
But
other mode
real,
where you play it and you shift and you sing B prep?
the real third mode
Yeah,
is
no.
just the fact that it's inkable. The fact that
Yeah.
in the red-blue matchup where I don't want to play it because I don't care about turn 1 board control, I'm just going to ink it. Because if you want the tempo play, you're going to keep it. And if you keep it all the time and it's uninkable, now you actually have decisions to make. But because it's inkable, you can just always keep it, and if it's bad, you ink it.
Is it the
I
death
mean-
of Flynn frenemy? Like
100%.
Oh, yeah.
I like it's this
not
card.
playable
This card, Flynn's dead. Flynn is gone.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the only one of the main ways that you beat Blue Steel was Flynn shenanigans early because they couldn't play Hiram, and they were spending their turns playing popsicles, and they missed their SME. Or it was
locations.
locations, and
She resolves
you-
both, right?
yes,
Very good
because she has
location.
3 strength. Like it's you go turn 1 Bell, turn 2 SME, and you're a red purple player, and you look at your SME like SME. Like if red purple is playable this set, SME is gone or Flynn is gone.
Do you think Bell should have been Steel instead of Sapphire?
I think
No.
Bell should have been like a 2/2 or uninkable or so many other things, but
Yeah.
and they just threw this
Or
in
it
at
costs
the end of
2?
the set.
What if it costs 2?
I actually would have appreciated it being a blue steel like dual card instead.
I mean, it might as well read a blue steel
Sure. I
dual
mean,
card.
so okay, you can play this in red blue. I don't like the card disadvantage. I don't think you need the 3/3. I think you have better 2-drop cards that can do better things. Green blue, you can't really afford to lose the card. So, but it does help the early game, which can be a problem, but you also have Baymax as a shifts in that color. So like if we're talking about like the other decks that do play items, if you're playing another item a combination with blue, don't force items into play this card. So, that's it.
Fumble's calling it right now, saying the card's trash. Overhyped.
No, I mean
unneeded.
yes,
So what-
but
Yeah. I mean,
one last
it's,
thing I'll say about both Coil and Bell
Mhm.
is they might be so oppressive that you don't even need to play them because just the
the threat.
presence of other people playing them chokes out all the decks that
yeah.
They're
you would
good
beat them
against
the
anyway.
Jace
yeah,
test.
like if you
Yes,
play
literally. Yeah.
if you play the bigger blue red deck that doesn't have
Mhm.
Coil and Bell
This
in
is
it,
a horse card.
and like
probably.
you just make it through the soup of the first few rounds of a DLC, like the Coil and Bell decks are going to suppress all of the decks that would prey on you.
Yep.
And like now you have the best winners bracket deck in the event.
Well, that's a different
just-
issue,
this-
Boomy, where there's not even going to be an event for this set. So,
Well,
Maybe that's for the best. But on
no.
Wonderland,
I think
like
there will be.
I hope.
Wonderland put an interesting comment, and I want to just highlight this. So, for those of you who've never played Magic, the Jace test. So, Jace the Mind Sculptor was a 4 ink planeswalker that, as soon as it came into play, it unsummoned something or it bounced it to your hand. So, like a kit.
that
or a
was
muse.
one of the things it could do.
Yeah.
It was one of the
You
many
could
things
also,
that
you could also
busted-
brainstorm.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. So, like one of the many things that
Oh,
busted card
And
could do,
fate to the
but
opponent.
So for a little more context, planeswalkers are similar to locations in that they can be attacked or
wait.
challenged, and they have effects that you get just by kind of having them in play.
All right, I got
But
this.
the
I got this. So it was a location that you could do one of these things. You could play Mother Knows Best for free, You could play Hypnotic Deduction. Is that the name of the card?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, hypnotic deduction.
You,
yeah.
you could Hypnotic Deduction.
To add a
You could
willpower
play
to it.
the new card, a nerfed version of the new water card. It's like the one cost. Look at the top 4, but you only look at the top
Oh.
card, and you can put it on the top or bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
It's
So
like you could do
scry,
those
yeah.
things
To-
with it the turn you
To
play
add,
it, and
to add 2 willpower.
yeah, and it's just like all good against certain things. And as Bumi's saying, when you do these abilities, you add or remove willpower from it.
That would-
and then
that
if you
would be the
somehow get to
scariest
12,
thing.
you have an I win.
If we could start
Yeah.
healing locations like that.
But the key to the Jace test was if you played anything that costed 3 or more, it had to impact the board the moment you played it. Because if you did nothing
Yep.
and they Jace bounced your thing, they time walked you.
Yeah.
Which is another Magic reference that we're not going to get into for another day.
It's funny.
Uh,
It's funny actually. Kendall went into our chat and he showed us the 5 cost
that.
steal. Your characters cannot be challenged until the beginning of their next turn. And he said,
yeah, the
"This is
Atlantis
just
card.
time warp." And I said, "Until you play Big Sisu or B Prep." And obviously he was joking, but it was fine.
Right.
All right, are we ready for number one?
Anything else on Bell other than, yes, it's going to suppress things, it's going to stress people out, it's going to be extremely misplayed, but it's also going to be extremely strong.
All right, so it might kill Flynn for a little bit, but like I remember Kendall talking about how he hates playing Flynn, but you have to play it because in the
No, we
mirror
all-
match, if your opponent plays a Flynn and you don't have an answer, like they can just like win, right?
Well, red purple doesn't
The
like-
problem is
exist.
there's going to be no red. There's going to be no red purple mirrors.
But this could create a situation that Flynn sees 0 play, and then eventually maybe this is a fair part of the format, and it's just like, a percentage, but red purple's still there. I could see waves of Flynn being good, Flynn being bad.
Red purple's definitely
It
not
just
gone
like
for
adjust the meta.
sure. For sure. All right,
Red purple dies every set and then comes back as best deck in format.
Undertaker.
The usual
Just a
cycle.
week.
Yeah.
But we always got like 1 or 2 cards every set. Ed and I looked. I can't see anything.
You got plenty last set.
hey
fair.
Dave, just go ahead.
All right, last card's Tamatoa.
Happy crab.
No.
I mean, okay,
Yes.
Luke, do you not think this is the best card of the set? Just
Have
This
you
card-
have you read 3 cost Steel Emerald Smee?
he's trolling us.
wow.
He can't even.
The
he can't even
Nebraskan
get
troll.
through.
By the way,
Straight face.
has it been noted, by the way, that this guy's holding blue steel orbs?
Ooh.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Oh, by the way, okay, just to put it out there, the illustrator for this enchanted version of
Oh, yeah.
Tamatoa is Beatrice Blue. She designed books for kids, and she's one of my favorite ones. She's from Spain, and that's her first card, and I think it's just such a looker.
Beauty.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Talk about
Not-
chase
This
cards.
not on the-
Shout out.
This
Beatrice Blue.
enchanted might be the second most expensive enchanted in the game.
That upsets me. Mostly because it means I will never
Own
own
it.
one for longer than it takes to sell it. And and it's gorgeous. Like
okay,
I would
so if
love to
you-
play with
yeah.
these, but
So if you're not watching this, because we are now on Spotify, if you're not watching this, go just look at the enchanted art for Tamatoa Happy as a Clam that came out today, because it is like absolutely gorgeous. Like it is a phenomenal art, and if this artist is a book artist, like Sailor said, I can tell immediately because
I would have loved the
incredible.
whole set just done by her. This is fantastic.
Yeah. So number 2, if you lived under a rock, this is by far the best card in the set. Unfortunately, it's a legendary, so it's going to be expensive.
Yep.
Because everything else in the set is hot garbage. So like think like not hot garbage. Like there's obviously good
You-
cards, but we need to
The
think of, like,
legendaries
this
are
game-
not good, is what you mean, right?
Exactly.
do you think
And this-
it'll make the card worth more money or less money?
So
That it's
So
the
I-
only expensive card in
Yeah.
the set.
So
More.
if you look at set 2, there was like, yes, there's a lot of good cards in that set, but there weren't a lot of chase cards. And Tragic Hero was really expensive when that set came out, and it was expensive for a really long time.
Played in the best 2 decks though, but yeah,
Right,
it was like
and this is
50.
going to be as well.
So another thing too, Luke, to think about, like after the first week, like who's opening this set, right? Like you're not opening to chase like anything really outside of Enchanteds and Tamatoa. Like once it,
What if it was a good limited set? What if we can finally start drafting
Okay,
once a week with our
wait,
friends?
actually,
They need to change their drafting rules if they're gonna make this like for the love of God, Ravensburger, if you want to make limited good, here's how you fix limited. Ready? Drafting is only 3 ink. 4 ink tops.
How
How does
many-
that
but
work
let's
with
do
these
it
how
four
many-
colors?
Yeah.
So-
How many packs are you gonna
I would
open?
rather take a different segue
4.
and not waste time here.
4?
Wait,
Yeah.
how
Right.
much does a Magic limited event cost?
20
10
bucks.
$20?
You draft for
For a
15.
booster draft?
Yeah, you draft
12,
draft for
15.
15.
So
That's gonna-
Oh, sorry, 20 Canadian.
talking
Yeah.
specifically
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
talking specifically
Might be
from New York
25
City,
now,
so
Sailor.
obviously take this with a grain of salt. Every sealed or limited draft anything, you're talking like $50. So not only are they charging $5 plus a pack, depending on the store, but like it's not cheap to do some of these sealed events. And so
Yeah.
then the other issue I have though is like, besides the sealed format being shit, it's just like, what are you playing for, right? Like sometimes you're playing for more packs, and it's just like it's not worth it overall. Like you open $5 worth of cards and you spend 60.
Well,
I don't know.
my
So I don't like
LGS
sealed, but I love draft.
My
Me
LGS
too.
would let you enter drafts with your own packs. So we would do
Oh, that's
3
sick.
packs to in Magic. It was like 3 packs to play, and you added 1 pack for prize.
Gotcha.
It wasn't very many prize packs, but they
Right.
let you go infinite basically, and they sold a draft set for $12.
Yeah.
4 packs for $12. Back in
Yeah.
my day.
But like
Yeah, back
sealed
in
products
the
not
day.
selling. So
So Tamatoa Happy as a Clam, 6 ink, inkable, 4/5, quest for 2. When you play this character, return up to 2 items from your discard to your hand. Whenever this character quests, you may play an item for free.
all right, Sailor. I mean, make your money here. You know?
I'm curious if Sailor likes this or not.
Yeah, I love this. I think it's actually like a good ceiling on how to play it well too. I think it's not too easy of a card to play because you actually need to go back to sequence your like fundamental sequencing and think about new ways to actually play the game now. Because you can play actions for free, and then these items have consequences on the board state sometimes on how you can draw. And like I have played with that card quite a bit in the last week, and it's a very interesting card. But you do need to find ways to sack your items for value in order to be good. So yeah, I know we just got like a few good examples right before this. So obviously they've put the card for it to work here in the same set, but also works with others. And I think obviously they're thinking about like the tool, right? The Ruby tool. I don't think that's it, right? Like that. What I think this enables is that it makes your very dirtly drawing cards item shenanigans be tempo positive, which is I think what is the secret power of that card is that you can take your time playing workshop and drawing cards because you'll get the tempo back eventually by playing that workshop or by playing that dime, right, and winning the game very, very quickly with it because you didn't have to actually pay 7 for it. And so this card is like a must answer that also says draw 2 cards.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a
Are
board
you
state
playing
early.
8?
Go ahead, Luke.
I'm sorry, I just want to. Are you playing 8 Tamatoas now? Do you think, or just? This?
I don't think.
I
you
mean, not
play-
necessarily 8, right? Like I think that's maybe too much, but like I
think
would
it's
say
6.
from 6 to 8. Yeah.
6 to 8.
I think the starting split for a lot of these decks is going to be 3/3.
Yeah, that's why I'm on right now. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
something to note: I had a board state earlier that was Tipo, small Sisu, and my opponent plays the Tamatoa, this Tamatoa, and so I have 2 options in hand. I could just ignore it, or I could prep the board. So we did the prep board, and then everybody was like, "Whoa, wait, you can't be. That's such a tempo loss, right?" And then I quested, and I'm just turning character sideways. He quested, plays a dime. It lives another turn. Quest plays another dime. You know, it's like it was just miserable to look at. Shockingly, somehow won that game just because I saw more Tamatoas. But other than that, I mean, it's just such a bizarre thing that like if I don't prep this card, a dime is coming down almost every time.
So I think one of the things that this does, so as we've turned into a DKP Shark style red blue, and even Sailor Continentals. Did you play 1 dime or 0? 1 dime, right?
1.
Yeah. So like the meta as we've shifted in set 6 started off every red blue deck in existence always had 2 dimes. That started to go down a little bit, down to 1 or 0, depending on how many Shark style you played,
Yep.
or like
Basically
like
APL, right? Like a Pirate's Life kind of replaced it. Yeah.
Tamatoa starts swinging the pendulum back and starts looking at for sure 2 dime, if not maybe even 3, so that way you can get them out
so
for free.
many.
I know it's so many, but
Our
like it's
BS
now
friends
it's like
are on 3.
it's and they didn't want to play any.
I did order 4 foil Oswalds. Is Tamatoa gonna finally make Oswald any good,
No.
or was that just money down the
Money
drain
down
until the next
drain,
set?
Dude, that card is awful.
Like I think this opens up the abilities for more dimes, or specifically back to 2 dime, because exactly like Rick said, this card lets you not take turns off. You can now, like, your dime can be tempoed out, which is humongous.
So,
Yeah.
interestingly enough, in Blue Steel, like you can play this Tamatoa on turn 4 and get back 2 cards.
Yeah.
Sometimes you even have a choice, like if they have the other popsicle for the Fishbone Quill turn, then they can just get rid of 2 popsicles and bring them back with the Tamatoa rather than Fishbone Quill. But if your Fishbone Quill stays in play, the next turn you can quest with it, put a dime in play Aerial, ink 2 cards that you just pick back up with the Tamatoa, and dime for 5 on your Aerial that has ward and is just sitting there.
Yep.
We were talking earlier about like exert abilities and on-quest abilities, and it's like, how is it okay that this is an on-quest ability
And
but
not an exert.
and not an exert ability, but like the Queen is an exert ability?
Another thing that this does is the item obviously comes into play readied.
Yep.
It could just put the 4th item into play for the Scrooge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about dials,
Right, and you can just
this
get
card could have been uninkable. This card could have returned 1 less item. This card could quest for less. This card
and it would
could,
still be good.
like that's
even like
it's so good.
even if you're just putting in a popsicle, like one of the popsicles you got back, and like you need to find the B prep that turn. Like you can just quest, play the free popsicle, like you spike the B prep, you win the game on the spot, because you got to dig 1 for free. Like, okay, all right.
I think if Popsicle was not a card, we would actually be just like, okay, this is like a good card.
Yep.
Yep.
I think Popsicle now is
Becoming egregious,
I think it's the best card in the game now.
which is scary to think about,
Yeah.
but it's crazy how much
always
better
been good.
Popsicle is to develop your brain, right? Like 2 cards that cost 1, inkable. They put a
Replace
card back in
themselves,
your hand,
yep.
they cantrip, and Popsicle is infinitely better than
All right.
develop
Well,
your brain.
Fun fact about Develop. Quick shout out to Sailor for my first coaching lesson I got with him basically a year ago now, where he said, you always ship Develop back because you're already doing half of what the card does. And it's just like, you're always like
with the Popsicle.
drawing 1 card, Popsicle, it just does half of what the card does anyway. You're getting probably a card anyway, and you don't have to put 1 to the bottom. So, yeah.
Last thing that I want to say about this card, the fact that, so if you compare this to the other Tamatoa, let's talk about what I would argue is the most common play pattern with Tamatoa before he dies. Sure, yes, when you compare the 2, this one is going to quest for less as a finisher, but how often are your Tamatoas questing for 2 to 3 anyway? And your entire mission with that card is to return a singular popsicle, quest, and get a popsicle again. This does this on play for 6, and 6 is such a big deal because, again, ramping lets you play this on 4.
Yeah.
And heaven forbid you go Popsicle Bell, turn 2 Sail, Popsicle Bell, turn 3 Quill, turn 4 Toa, get back both your popsicles. Or turn 4 How Far I'll Go. or turn 4, like anything, like another sail. Like there's so many things that you can do in blue steel with this now that in
I mean,
combination
you've
with
just
Bell,
you've just named blue cards, right? So I guess you could do
Like-
that with multiple blue decks.
right? But like if you talk about like the popsicle engine itself,
Yeah.
like yes, we talk about popsicle and it's one of the best cards of the game. Fortisphere is up there as well. Like it's just it's so good.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
It's
that's
the shark of the set for sure. Like,
100%.
Oh, yeah.
they like aggressively costed Inkable does many things.
Yo, Josh,
Yeah.
Good
pull
body.
up the Lady Tremaine.
Right.
Let's go. Let's end it on that.
All right, guys, I gotta run.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I was just
let's
gonna
wrap it
say
up,
I
dude.
Yeah.
I got.
I think
Yeah,
we've
let's
gone
wrap it.
almost
Yeah.
3
All
hours.
right, Dave, you're great.
yeah.
Love
Bye,
you,
Dave.
Bye, Dave.
I'll see
I
you
also need to leave soon.
later,
So
guys.
Bye,
wrap
Ray.
ups.
Yeah, we'll just quickly wrap it up.
With the
Any,
important people now.
Yeah, with the
It's
important
cooked,
people.
yeah.
The Wonderland finish. I mean, what else could we ask for?
Woohoo.
It's becoming the classic.
It's I think it's cooked.
Overall, I think the set is decent. I think it's top heavy. I will not be buying boxes of this. I will be buying singles only.
Yep.
And
At the premium.
I'm going to cry at how much these Tamatoas are going to cost me, but it's going to be
Man.
cheaper than trying to open packs to
I
find them.
will
for sure.
I will say definitely if you are looking to buy some singles, like there's going to be the obvious cards that are going to be expensive, but for the most part, if people do open a lot of this set, like some of these cards are going to be so cheap, so just give it a second.
Yeah.
Like if you really
Yeah.
want like bells, for example, like you'll be able to get bells.
There's
for,
3 of them in the starter deck.
You'll be able to get bells for like $10 week 1
Yeah.
if you really wanted them. So like.
What do you mean?
Uh,
Foil? You mean?
Commons?
No. Well,
Foils?
okay. Well, all right, Sailor. I'm not talking about foils here. I'm talking about just getting a playset because like you could just like go
Oh,
to like the
yeah.
starter deck is what Dylan was saying.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
I
don't
thought you were going to
do not pay $2.50 for your
I'll
bags.
sell you some bells
have
for
you seen
$2.
how expensive like followers is or like strength or like
That's-
obviously
They're
rares-
uncommons.
sure.
I mean,
Uncommon.
Guys.
strength is a rare.
Yes. Hang on.
Followers is an uncommon from like
All right.
the
Skip. Next.
least
So-
open set.
A good example would be Popsicle because it's in the exact same
Well,
spot.
Pop's still
It's
cheap.
super
Yeah.
played.
Yeah.
Because it was a 3 of in a precon.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like
So
Yep.
don't like go crazy. Certain cards like some of these dual
Yeah.
links and stuff like that won't be expensive. So
Yeah.
To kind of go back to what Dylan was saying, I don't think people should be upset about the fact that people are not buying boxes. This is what most games are like.
Yep.
You should be buying singles. That is like the best advice any competitive player can ever tell you. Is like do not buy sealed product.
Never.
Like
Yeah.
I use an excuse that I stream as a gambler's addiction, like an excuse to buy product. Be like, oh, I'm gonna stream opening it.
I like opening
like I'm
packs.
lying to
Yeah.
myself.
I like opening
Opening
for
packs
sure.
is super fun. It is
Oh, it's so
financially unadvisable most of the
Yeah.
time.
I've been extremely lucky with what I've opened for packs, and I still like the way that I've
Result-oriented.
broke even in this game is by doing well in events. Like
Oh,
what I was
yeah.
going to say is like even with doing well in opening enchanteds and chase rares, it still doesn't offset the cost of buying. Like I typically don't buy a ton. I think overall I've bought a lot more product in set 1 because that was the only way to get cards. I bought 1 to 2 boxes of set 2, and then the rest singles. And then the only other box that I've opened was in the last set because I hadn't opened boxes in a while and I wanted to, and I quickly remembered why I didn't like opening boxes because
Oh,
I didn't open a single genie. I didn't I still ended up having to like buy the singles that I wanted before.
But you
I needed
started
them,
with
so-
$200 less. To
So-
buy singles.
Exactly.
For me, it makes sense to buy a case because I don't want to just like dirtle and try to buy every playsets of
I like
things,
having
right?
playsets
So
of everything.
I feel like it's too much work to just like go ahead and try to buy these like playsets of like Lilos and Kaloons and stuff like that. So
When was the last time you played a Lilo or Calhoun? You could save so
Wait,
much money.
wait,
Just
wait.
buy the red blue
Somebody's
cards.
got to be
So-
tester for Kendall. Come on.
so Sailor,
I
how
wanna
much
buy
you,
them
how
all.
much you pay? How much you pay for a case of Lorcana cards?
I have a deal. Let's
Okay.
put it that way.
Okay,
So-
you get a deal.
So let's
So-
bump that number, round up that number, like 400.
So I'm
Uh,
like 400 USD.
let me look how much
just
it
say
is
the
in
Canadian
USD.
number.
So-
I'd buy a
people could-
case at 400 USD. There's 6 boxes in a case, right?
4
Four
boxes.
I'm
boxes.
spending over $100 a box, and I buy like 2 or 3
350.
boxes a set.
350 is my price
Nice.
Okay.
350
No,
US.
that's what I would
Yeah.
get it at too, probably.
Yeah.
at a case
What?
for a case.
Hot damn. Hot
All right,
damn.
well, I'm
So
Fumbles. You're my new guy. Then if you're getting it for
Yeah.
350 in the US.
It's like 360 then tax, but like yeah.
oh,
I mean,
okay.
I don't
Sailor,
know.
you're my new guy.
Oh,
I don't know if Sailor's talking tax,
Yeah.
but
so you
I know
can,
that's taxing.
oh,
you can go. Wow. You can go to Dreamborn in your collection. If you have no cards from Azurite Sea, you can buy 4 copies of each card in Azurite Sea minus Enchanteds for $580.
I mean, I probably spent more than that, right? Because obviously you're not getting all of your
Yeah,
playsets of legendaries.
and this is
but-
obviously
right.
not foils. Like, don't buy shiny
But-
cards
yeah.
then. The Bumi
But
special.
that's what I'm saying.
I don't buy
is-
shiny cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is if you want to buy sealed product until you have 4 copies of every card, you're probably going to spend a lot more than $580.
Oh wait, no, I grabbed the wrong card.
Mhm.
No.
Here, hold on.
Yeah.
I wanna.
And
As we wrap up, I want to show something. 1 second.
and you're going to have like 900 extra cards that you don't want just sitting
Yeah.
in your house.
I give them to somebody
You
who
can
plays
trade.
casually. Yeah. or
Yeah.
trade.
I'm a fan of
Yeah,
buying
let
a
me-
case, like mostly for the commons and uncommons places.
All right, well, let's wrap up
God,
before
fill in the
Dylan
rest
opens up
later.
cards.
So
You-
no. So this big box
your top
is full of just
everything.
like junk, right? This is like a bunch of draft chaff, a bunch of like things that I don't. I might go in here every once in a while when one of us finds a random card that I don't have in my
Cottages.
boxes, cottage, or like, oh, I don't want to like go through a bunch of shit and like, oh, I forgot I'm actually using Queen of Hearts again. I need to go find those. This is the box of actual playable
Yeah,
I'm
cards.
it's a
building a
special
wall,
box.
dude. Call me Pink Floyd over
That's
here.
it.
Dylan has a special box too.
Oh no! Don't let Luke do it.
No,
Don't let
I'm
Luke
not
do
gonna-
it.
Luke,
It's too much
Luke,
work.
all-
There's too many
all mine
boxes.
all mine are in my closet. These are all playable over here next to my deck.
Yeah.
so.
Oh no,
So,
I have
anyway,
a long box
singles.
of each color.
Because I also don't play every color of deck. If I need to, I'll borrow from friends. But I've lived this set long enough that I pretty much exclusively play blue, red, or purple. Mix in a little bit of steel
Alright,
every
man.
now and then. I don't touch amber,
I
and I
just,
don't.
I just
touch
want
emerald,
everybody
so-
to know that Dylan Edge was about to play Green Steel for NA Continentals again. Just a friendly reminder.
Is this going to
There's
be
a picture.
3-hour podcast?
It is going to be a 3-hour podcast. So
Oh,
on
yeah.
that note, Josh, is there anything that we need to talk about before we wrap up?
No, thanks for doing all the talking.
Dude, Josh has it easy, man.
Thanks for
No,
letting me
Josh
do
I can't
does
it.
the
tell
hard
if that
stuff.
was a slight or an actual compliment.
You should hear what he
And it
says
just
about
makes
you in
it
DMs, man.
Perfect.
Oh,
Me?
eating up.
I don't know. I love Josh.
I love Josh. I hope Josh
Man,
loves me.
I love
I'm
you all.
fist
Maybe you
fighting
think-
Josh
I think-
next
I think
time I
it-
see him.
I think he
One
thinks
of-
I talk too much.
One of my favorite things before Pixelborn would go down is like Josh would be tearing up
Mishi
it
Monday.
wasn't Mishi Monday. Yeah, we'd be tearing up Mishi Monday, and every single time I would turn into Josh's stream, a Kingdom Hearts song would be playing without fail. Like he just had
it's like
like
it knew.
video game music on shuffle, and like I'm like, oh, Josh is streaming. I hop in, and it's like simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel. I'm like, oh hell yeah! And then like the next week I like hop into Josh's stream. It's like my sanctuary, oh, and it's like what the? Does this guy just listen to like Kingdom Hearts songs until I show up? Like what's going on? And then like.
we
Yeah, I just wait for you to show up, and then it's
Yeah,
like,
and
oh,
then,
I can
and
switch
then
off
put on
now.
the shuffle now.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I
We're
miss
gonna need other
Misha
people-
Monday.
We're gonna need to have a couple people speak up because my wife is due. Literally, the due date for our baby is tomorrow. So this might be my
Whoa!
last podcast for a little bit.
Congrats. Good
Oh,
luck.
Congrats, Dylan.
Good luck. Good
So
luck.
she might even go into labor tonight.
Oh
we'll
my
see.
god. You
Probably not,
need a
Best of
nap,
luck.
dude.
you can
Dude,
Yeah.
are you
still
ready?
do podcasts. What are you talking
I'm
about?
not-
You
Let's
just
go,
hold a
Dad.
child on your chest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'm-
told him he should do
are
one from
you
the
s-
hospital. Think of the
Wait,
views.
There is no way I'm doing one from the
Shirtless
hospital.
baby on chest. Let's go.
Yep.
Sailor, I'm gonna ask you the same question. You have a toddler Are you still ready?
Yeah, he's 4 years old now. I am
I-
more than I
Okay.
was before.
So I'll talk to you when my kid is 4.
Yeah.
I like to joke like I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't feel ready to be a dad yet. My kid's 3 years old.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
It's rough.
I think mine
It's
are
rough
the
for
oldest
sure.
out of everybody, right?
No kids
and I'm
here.
still not ready.
How old are yours?
Yes.
Mine are 11 and 12.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for
wow.
sure. For sure.
For sure.
Mine just got out of his bed. You can see the little ball. His little
Yeah, we saw it.
What up, little wonder?
Okay, so
All right.
wrapping up.
All right. Yeah. Thanks
Set
everyone
7.
for joining.
All right.
Set
It's gonna
7.
be great.
No
what is
kids,
it? March
life
7th,
great.
right?
March
Yeah,
March
March
7th.
Because
Like a million days from today.
yeah, all the reveals are done now, and now the news is dead again.
And
for
now
another couple weeks.
now everybody can solve the format before it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we always do.
As we
usual.
always do. Okay. Thanks everyone for listening. This is a long one, so I both apologize, but also you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
That's like multiple car rides to work.